Nasty, and I like smelled his face,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, it smells fine on you, and he's like, just sniffy, and like, and we're like, he's like, I've been incarcerated for 15 years, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah, I had a moment. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's all okay. I'm stupid.
You wanted to sniff him?
I just, cause I was like, he was like, oh, that smells bad. And I'm like, the stuff I put on you doesn't smell bad. So I smelled my hands. It smells like sandalwood. And then I smelled his face. I'm like, that it smells fine on you. It doesn't really even smell like anything. You're fine. And he got like really embarrassed and I got really mad and stop.
Let me see. The title, did it update? I updated it on my end. I was originally going to do Bendy and the Ink Machine, but then we changed to Higurashi.
It's all my fault.
No, I just Index was busy today and I didn't know if she was going to make it or not. But she made it. She's a real trooper. Hey, Lily. Is this still say Bendy?
Yeah, it does.
I updated it on my end.
Wait,
it's not my fault.
Monte. Can we finish this cartoon yet? It still says Bendy. Let me look.
Like, that's Twitch's fault, not mine.
Redeem requests, unban requests, predictions. Channel, newsfeed. I don't know if I can
I don't
change
think,
it.
I'd have to make you an editor, I think. But
yeah.
I mean, I changed it on Streamlabs. Is there just delay?
Boy. Yeah, I was really embarrassed about that, and then My first appointment was late, and then my second appointment. Well, actually, my first appointment just didn't show up because that's what people fucking do.
Mm-mm.
And then we didn't have the color that I was supposed to put on her hair, even though it has it in our book. And I didn't have it, so I had to make it. And I just tried to make it say the same thing. And
Poor index. Good God. Hell of a day, huh?
yeah.
This Higurashi? Okay, good.
Okay, now yeah, now it says Higurashi just needed to update.
Takes a minute, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, So, today is the day I do the weekly top chatter, so Elise, congratulations. You are the top chatter.
Hello, Elise.
So go ahead and pick a game. The top gift subber, I actually don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's Kitten Shop.
Um,
How do you? You can't do that in Nightbot. You can't check who your top gift subber is.
go to your creator dashboard.
Okay, I gotta open up Twitch.
Mhm.
See, Twitch resets every 6 days, so I'm like, shit. Who was the top gift subber before that? But
Channel analytics.
I'm almost certain it's Kitten though, because he donated like 17, 15. I don't know how many fucking subs he gifted last week. Discord, channel analytics.
Oh, well, fuck me.
What? It doesn't
It
say.
doesn't say who donated them.
Oh shit!
Let,
I'm
let me
like,
do some sleuthing.
I am 90%, 99% sure it's fucking Kitten though.
Kitten shop. Kitten shop. How to look at gifted subs on Twitch. Viewers with most gifted subs. Okay.
Well, I know overall it's Kitten too, because that guy, oof, he loves me.
Oh, fuck this shit.
He doesn't say.
No, it's just telling you which Twitch streamer has the most gifted subs.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to be a good little sleuth here.
One day I'll get somebody who subscribes to level 3. One day. One day.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
Uh oh. I guess I gotta check manually then. I have to check on Sundays if it reset today. Resets in 6 days, so I think it's Sundays that it resets. Getting working himself to the bone in order to sub to every VTuber in existence. Pretty much. This guy's insane, man. There's shitloads of overtime and then subs to everybody. I can't. But yeah, I'll just give it to him because I'm about 100% sure he's the top gifter. I don't know who's the top bit donator, but I don't think anybody really did much of bits. Anyway, I gotta find a better way to do this. Oh, what's wrong, Index?
I just dropped a Cheeto.
Well, you better pick it up and eat it. Are you actually gonna... No, don't actually. Wait.
My cat's eating it.
Let me see if I can export
He
the
already ate my
data.
cookies.
I'm exporting the data for.
I turned into a bird for a second.
Wait, this is. Oh, this...
Caca.
Okay,
Yeah, I
this.
haven't had food all day. I'm very upset that I dropped a Cheeto. Which is why I will legitimately leave as soon as my brother-in-law texts me that dinner is ready.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna be like, food is done. I have to go grab it.
Okay. I can't fucking see. Jesus, I can't find the fucking data on the goddamn subscriptions. Fuck. Oh well, I just have to check on Sundays, I guess. But yeah, I'll just give one to Kitten, and then at least he can pick one. Okay, you can see the screen index?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Hungy Indie. We should have about 2 hours left from what my friend told me. 1.5 to 2 hours left. Okay, I don't think we did the tips. Wait, I think we did, didn't we? This
Hmm?
is the wife.
This is the wife part. I think I read
Okay,
this.
yeah, we did read this. Never mind. Never mind. See if that got
Leaderboard guys.
leaderboard.
Hmm?
That was my first time losing consciousness. You often hear of regaining consciousness on top of a bed, but this was my first time actually experiencing it.
Oh, oh.
What?
1 second. I may have figured out how to do it. Let me see if I can do it. Um, then preferences, partner affiliate. I think they moved this so it's in a different place. Uh, affiliate.
Had a physical and had blood drawn for testing and feel weak. Uh-oh, Elise. Hope it went well.
Leaderboards. Enable top gifter on leaderboards. Choose top gifters. Daily. Okay. Open tab. Fuck, that's the wrong one. I am trying to figure this out. Give me 5 seconds. Channel.
Got advice for stuff and stuff. Are you healthy, Elise? Clean bill of health, I hope. Doctor always just tells me I'm fat and ugly. So, hopefully yours went better than me.
I don't see how you can see your leaderboards, but it says you can do it.
I'll have to figure that out. Going forward, I'll have to figure out how to fucking do that. I might have to check Sundays. When did Full Club you checked yesterday, right? Yeah, so I guess Sundays are the day before it resets. So I'll have to check then. If I don't check, I'm fucked. Alright, young doctor. Hello. Okay. Realizing that I was awake, a young doctor called out to me. I didn't intend to respond, but it seems my body language had told him I was conscious. My head was wrapped in bandages. Scratches all over my body had also been treated. My sense of pain also returned with my consciousness, causing me to groan from the intense pain shooting all throughout me. Don't try to get up. Just stay lying down, please. It seems that you took quite a few blows to the head. I want you to stay rested so we can monitor your condition for at least the next 24 hours. Where is this? My clinic. Pleased to meet you. My name is Ide. Ide. Oh shit, they had to puncture. So they did blood withdrawal, that's great. Next Sunday till I said this. I remember that the same doctor was the one in the car headed opposite way earlier. There somebody here? Where's Oishi-san? Ah, I'll call him over. There's no smoking inside the clinic, so I had him smoke outside. Dr. Ide left the room to call Oishi. The scenery outside the window was tinted with gold. The pouring rain had stopped, with the voices of Higurashi heralding the cooling temperature. I felt that the tone of the Higurashi's voice was comforting. Eventually, I could hear heavy footsteps coming closer, which I reckoned to be Oishi's. The fog that was enveloping my head slowly faded back to reality. What had happened since? What had happened to the boy? What about the reinforcements from Tokyo? The door to the room flew open, allowing Dr. Ide and Oishi to enter. No, there's no serious damage, is there? I can't promise that. I assessed the wound to his head. It was dangerous the moment I saw it. Got it. I want to have a little chat alone with him for a bit. Would you mind? Yeah, go ahead. Call me if anything happens. Oishi, after basically forcing Dr. Ide outside, shut the door. What's up, Index?
My brother-in-law just came in and gave me food.
Oh. That worked out pretty well, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's good.
How are you feeling? I did something I'm not used to, so I'm pretty banged up all over. No! Oishi brought over a folding chair that was leaning against the wall and sat down beside the bed. Were the perpetrators arrested? Unfortunately, no. They probably already fled the prefecture or are being hidden by the villagers. Well, we won't let them get away. No. What about the minister's grandson? They're taking care of him at the station. But your colleagues from Tokyo are rather insistent that nothing can be recorded. Ige-chan doesn't like that too much. The kidnapping was a confidential matter, so his custody was also probably being kept under wraps. How the kidnapping of the minister's grandson would be handled, how it would be covered up, treated like it never happened, would be handled by the brats. Hey, what up, Synthetic? Burrito? Burgerito?
I think they meant my food. It's a Mediterranean salad with tzatziki sauce.
Oh, tasty.
Very good. No, back away.
If this case ended without the nation going into an uproar about it, then our job had been done. The possibility that the minister had negotiated with the perpetrators couldn't have been ruled out. But something like that was no longer my concern. My role in this case was over. Sorry for the trouble. You must think that the public safety is a rather unseemly place, don't you? No, no. We all work on the government's dime. Oishi laughed boisterously. When we first met, I was somewhat prejudiced against Oishi, but now that feeling was gone completely. It would be more convenient to us if this case was handled properly instead of being hidden away. If that happened, we would be able to have something to go at the Sonozaki family with, since they are behind it all. Well, if we just start poking around, we'll get all sorts of pressure put on us, though. What a mess. Are you going to continue the fight against the Sonozaki family after this? Nah. There's all sorts of dark rumors swirling around them, but it's not like I have a personal grudge. It'd be wise not to step on any toes here. No. Oishi laughed happily, and I couldn't help but laugh along. Oh, that's right. There was word at the station from the prefectural police. Your colleagues arrived at Nagoya and are driving up here right now. You've got your battle scars, so you're being recalled to Tokyo, apparently. That's how it's shaken up. Good job. Your work in Okinomiya is safely over. I was being recalled to Tokyo. I inadvertently breathed a sigh of relief when I heard those words. I'm deeply thankful for your cooperation, Oishi. It seems the collaboration fee I paid you didn't go to waste. I kinda meant that as a joke, though. Oishi took out his wallet, casually pulled out several large bills, and jammed them into my breast pocket of my shirt. This isn't a refund for all the collaboration fee, you hear? This is just me gifting you a little spending money. The booze around here is pretty good. Use this to buy yourself a little souvenir. Index prevents Kato from salad. Making glorious shit for Pango. Down my neck has a big knot. Uh-oh. Back had to piss. Oh, okay. That's a bummer. Not a glorious shit. Oishi flashed me a grin. If your injuries turn out not to be so serious, call me before you head back to Tokyo, will you? The old man and Sato said they'd like to sit at a table with you again. Oh my. I can't refuse that. And no tricks this time. Just some plain old fun. They always say that. What is done for if an active officer can at blade play. It's not often that we meet someone who's more than a match for us. It's too bad you're going back to Tokyo. When I heard the words of going back to Tokyo from Oishi, I was reminded once again that I was relieved from my duties. Soon, Yuki would be given birth. It might still be possible to attend the delivery that I had at one time given up on. When I thought that, the pain from my injuries became trivial. I wanted to hurry back to Tokyo and see Yuki at once.
Okay, when's he gonna die?
Probably right before he leaves. He's risen too many red flags not to die. Can you pretend that your injuries are a bit more serious and hang around Okinomiya for a bit? I can introduce you to a few nice places. Of course, I won't make you pay for everything. Nah. I'm terribly sorry, but I have to take a rain check on that. My wife is due to give birth any day now. I want to hurry back home. Oh my, oh my. I didn't know that. Then you shouldn't be hanging around here. You have to hurry back home. For a while after that, Oishi asked all sorts of questions about my wife, teasing and bantering with me. He'll die when I shoot him with my Nerf gun. Oh no. If it's a Jill, that will kill him at close range. Well then. How do you feel? Think you can get up? Yeah, it's not so bad thanks to you. I can get up and walk no problem. I stood up and shuffled around for a bit, which seemed to amuse Oishi. I just thought you might not feel comfortable at a hospital in Hinamizawa. Dr. Ide said he wanted you to stay overnight. But we still haven't caught up with the perpetrators. For the time being, this is enemy territory for you, after all. Are you saying this hospital isn't safe? Well, Dr. Ide is somebody who's well regarded in the community. I don't think anything will happen while you're here, but I'm more worried about your mental health. I had relaxed a bit now that things had progressed this far, but it was exactly as Oishi had said. When I realized that this was enemy territory, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. But the only thing left for me to do was leaving. The chance that I would come to harm was logically fairly low. But that didn't mean I was completely safe. I'm gonna take that sound alert away. What the fuck? But that didn't mean I was completely safe. That's right. If I'm just gonna be lying down, then doing it in a hotel bed won't be all that different. Right. Nope, we gotta pay for that. Right. I also think that's for the best. At that moment, I caught a glimpse of the clock over Oishi's shoulder. It was evening. Hours when I would call Yuki at the hospital are almost over. Is Index eating? Yes. Yes, she is.
Yeah, I'm almost done. Shut up!
I wanted to tell her as quickly as possible that I would soon be back at her side. I want to call Yuki at the hospital. Is there a public phone in the lobby? No!
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
I get DMCA'd for this shit. Jesus, Index, why? This is for me teasing you, isn't it?
By the way, I also can't hear it, so it's even more funny for me.
Damn it, Index. No.
Don't make me mad. Don't make me mad, Penguin. I have 15k.
What? Why do you have that many points?
I was saving to be VIP, and then you're like, you can't be VIP and a mod, and it doesn't overlap. It overlaps, and I'm like, God damn it!
You didn't know that?
Do I look like I'm smart to you?
I'm afraid to answer. Oh no, she's gonna fucking play another sound, isn't she?
I'm a big dummy.
No, you're not.
I am, though.
Just, you're blonde, right?
Mm-hmm. Super blonde. I'm so blonde, but I don't even look blonde.
Really? Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
I actually don't have blonde hair. I'm brunette.
Wait. You said you're blonde.
I mean, figuratively, yes.
Figuratively?
Yeah, I'm gonna be blonde eventually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna like Prince and be a blondie. Even though I have dark hair.
You're gonna dye it?
Yeah.
What, for a cosplay?
No, just because I want blonde. I want like silver hair.
Silver?
Mm-hmm.
Blonde isn't silver, though. Is it? I don't know colors.
As white as Prince Asgard's hair.
It's not blonde, though.
IRL.
It's not blonde, though.
It's white. I want it to be as white as possible.
Want to be old?
I want to be an old lady.
Platinum blonde?
You know what I want to be?
Name is John.
You know what I really want to be?
God damn it, Index.
John Cena. Okay, I'm sorry I exist.
Damn it, you're gonna waste all your fucking points now, aren't you?
I only have 13k. It's fine. It's fine. All right, I'm fooded now.
You're gonna poop, huh?
No, that takes 10 hours, you idiot.
10 hours to poop?
Yeah, the average person takes about 10 hours for their digestive system to fully digest food. So you should have a poop every 10 hours.
Oh man, it feels like I shit it out like an hour later. Whereas like my colon just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? What are you doing?
And just depends. Hey, kitten.
Hello, kitten. You are the top gifter for this week, so yay! You get to pick a game, kitten. Yeah, pick a game, kitten, and Elise.
That's common knowledge.
What's common knowledge? Pooping?
How long it takes between shit. That should be common
I
knowledge.
shit a lot. Every day. I shit like
Yeah, it's because you are shit. Ha 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 ha.
What the fuck, Index? What you
No,
call this shit?
but it's average of 10 hours. You also have to think you should at least have, like, what, 2 poops a day then?
I think like 5 a day.
Maybe you just eat too much.
Maybe.
Okay, you get too much fiber. It's all those hoagies.
God, I still don't know what a hoagie is. Can somebody tell me what a hoagie is?
Have you ever been to Subway and got a sandwich?
Yes.
Yes, that's a hoagie.
But that's a sandwich. What is...
It's just a sandwich.
It's a
All a
fucking-
hoagie is a sandwich. It's not even a specific kind of sandwich,
Why
even
are
though
they-
Prince Aesar would tell you otherwise.
What the fuck
He's
is...
just dumb as shit.
Why do they call it hoagies then? What's the purpose of having 2 different names for
A
the same thing?
hoagie is a specific type of roll.
The bread?
It's a specific type of roll.
Which is the shit they sell you at Subway. What the fuck? The fucking sandwich. So it's not normal to take one every hour? No. But I poop. At least how many times do you poop? Only once a day? Okay.
Hoagie, a sandwich made of a long roll filled with meat, cheese, or salad.
But you just put a salad in there? What the fuck?
Yeah, like tuna fish salad.
I'm just joking,
Or-
maybe twice a day. Hold shits every hour on the hour, he's a poop. Usually once, some days I don't poop. I can't imagine that. Not pooping for a whole day? God damn.
Some people just don't.
That sounds weird. It's like, what?
Eat your fiber. Eat fiber.
Doesn't that make you shit more?
That's why you need a good, healthy amount of fiber.
So Elise just doesn't eat fiber. You're not
But
shit.
penguin normally is like your stomach really in pain, and then you go to the bathroom.
I'd say it's
Because you say you go to the bathroom a lot. It's usually after you eat, you kind of get like a mini stomach ache.
not really.
Because you could just have IBS.
No, I don't have IBS. I don't think. I don't. My stomach doesn't hurt.
Mm.
My
Okay.
ass. I feel the pressure in my ass, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta shit.
But yeah, it takes about 10 hours to fully digest your food if you eat correctly. Like, you take time to actually eat your food and that type of stuff. You eat proper proportions.
Oh, I just wolf shit down. Like, rah, 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 rah.
Because if you wolf stuff down, it can actually take longer for you to digest it, and you can get more of a stomach ache.
Uh-oh. I know I'm lactose intolerant. Definitely. And I don't give a shit about that shit. I just eat cheese. I'm not giving up cheese. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Vegan cheese is disgusting.
I have no meal schedule. Some days I eat a ton of snacks. Some days I have none. Some days I have over 3 meals. Some days I have none. So your metabolism must be all over the fucking place, huh, Elise? I've evolved beyond pooping. What, do you just vomit it out instead, synthetic? It's like, oh, fuck pooping. He just fucking vomits
It's just fucking riches.
That's funny. I like that.
For my dessert, I'm having a Kinder.
What?
A Kinder bar. A bar of Kinder chocolate.
Oh, it's not like the eggs? Kinder eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Only
heck.
I'm having a Oreo.
She absorbs her pee into her slime without skipping colors.
Bueno.
Uh-oh.
Bueno.
Oh,
Bueno?
that's
Bueno?
weird.
It's a crispy, creamy chocolate bar with a crispy wafer with creamy hazelnut filling and milk chocolate drizzle.
What the fuck? Alright, let's continue. You newlyweds are all like this. If I recall correctly, there's only one by the register. I'll be waiting here, so go ahead. Oishi, laughing while saying that he was jealous, opened up the window and pulled out a cigarette even though he was in the hospital. Appreciative at how considerate Oishi was, I set out the lobby to find the phone. The lobby was just a short distance down the hallway from the hospital room. I thought that this hospital was a bit too grand for a village like this, but of course, it was nothing compared to the general hospital. Running inside a hospital wasn't the best of manners, but calling hours would soon end, so I dashed over in a hurry. There was nobody else in the lobby. It may have been the evening, but there was nobody at the reception desk. Well, this might actually be lucky for me. I wasn't planning on having to have a conversation to feel guilty about, but it would still be embarrassing to have someone listen to the conversation between me and Yuki. Taking a quick look around, I soon found the payphone. Remember payphones?
Oh my gosh.
I do not miss those. Digging around in my pockets, I grabbed a few coins. I was calling Tokyo from here, so I would burn through this amount fairly quickly. I picked up the receiver and inserted a coin, then dialed the number for Yuki's hospital. I had completely memorized at this point. Word. Number for Yuki's hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it in inevitably took some time. Oh, they're using a fucking rotary phone? Jesus. God damn, the 80s. Ah. Normally,
They
it
were
wouldn't...
so long ago.
1983, that was... Well, that's actually... This is before 83, this is... like 70.
Just look. That's like 40, 60 years. God, that's half like a millennium.
Normally, it wouldn't be a big deal, but currently, any time was precious. However, I felt that something was strange as I was dialing in the number. I don't know exactly how to put it, but it was as if the receiver was too quiet. Unique white noise from the telephone line wasn't there. The fuck? Somehow, I felt that I wasn't getting any feedback from the phone, and without feeling a response, I hung up the receiver to try again. The coin popped out from the return slot. I reinserted the coin and began dialing once again, but the receiver was still dead silent. What is this? Disconnected? While I was wasting time like this, the amount I had to spend talking with Yuki shrunk. I began to feel needlessly impatient. Excuse me. I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the glass, so I called out. There was an immediate response, and a man who seemed like a pharmacist came over. Yes, how can I help you? Pardon me. This one seems to be acting a little strange. Could you take a look at it? The man came over and tried testing various things with the receiver pressed to his ear. Come to think of it, this was someone who worked at the hospital, not someone from the phone company. Just as I didn't know much about phones, neither would he. Huh? What's this? The man held up the cord connected to the phone to the wall. It was completely severed. What the heck is that? Well, this is a dilly of a pickle. Uh-oh.
No, I don't like it.
Can't do anything with this until somebody from the phone company comes and fixes it. A dilly of a pickle. Did he really say that? This is a dilly of a pickle. Index, who says that? Is that how they talked back then? A dilly of a pickle?
I've never heard that phrase in my entire fucking life.
What the
A dilly of a pickle.
A
That's like 1920s BS.
What the fuck?
It is a real phrase.
It's
In a situation without any good options.
Yeah, pickles. What the fuck?
It was added to the Urban Dictionary in 2005 by
Oh.
some poor sad sack. Homer Simpson has said it over the phone.
Penguin, did you learn how to use a rotary phone yet? Fuck you, Elise. Fuck you. Okay? I know how it works now. Leave me alone.
Dilly
God.
Dilly intermission ad. Let me see this.
Found yourself in a bit of a sticky wicket, eh? Oh, God. God damn it, this is funny. If you're looking for a phone, do you want to use the one in the office? I didn't want the people in the hospital office around while I was talking. Is there another payphone close by? Let's see. If you leave here and follow the road, you come out in the shopping district. I think there's a smoke shop around the corner around there. If you head out that way, you'll be able to find one soon enough. I was dressed in a hospital gown. I was wearing sandals on my feet. My head was wrapped in bandages. Just looking at me, you could tell I was a hospital patient. No matter how you looked at it, I was not dressed to be wandering outside. But that's where the impetuousness of youth came in. Using the chance to talk to Yuki for even a little longer, I headed outside in my current state. He's gonna look like an escaped mental patient or some shit.
Good job.
Mango, when he can't press down the numbers on the rotary. Shut up, Elise! God!
Rotary phones are not that difficult.
God damn it! There was a fucking game I played a little bit ago where I had to use a rotary phone, and I didn't know how to use it right, and everybody's just making fun of me. I was like, God damn it! Shut up! I've never used one before. Okay?
How many people in chat right now have used a rotary telephone within the last 10 years?
Like a toy or a real one?
Like a real rotary telephone.
How many people in chat? Yeah, I couldn't fucking use a rotary phone. I've never used one.
My grandmother has one in her home. And that still works.
I haven't used in 10 years, but I've used one before. Okay, Zen. So
Yeah.
Zen is ancient.
Okay. I'm just sussing out everybody's ages right now.
Oh. somebody's like 40 plus in here, I guess.
I'm over here. Well, my grandmother literally just had one in her house. Because she's like, why am I gonna get a new phone? This one works just fine. It's not broken.
I have
And
within the
everyone's
past
like,
15 years. Not sure if it was the past 10 though. Funny. Not ancient, just interested in weird shit. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Can you like connect a rotary phone to your phone line nowadays and use it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As long as they're made as long as they're made so that you can.
As long as it has
Like-
a plug that works.
Yeah. As long as it has the right type of plug, you're fine. Like my grandmother literally has one at her house.
Is it?
Uh-huh. There's
I-
one downstairs and there's one upstairs.
What the fuck? I kind of
And
want.
Hmm?
Ow. I kind of want to like buy one and just install it in the house. Like I'd probably never use it. I just use my cell phone, but it'd be funny
why would you have one? Because of the aesthetic of having one?
just to be weird and just to make everybody shut up and chat that I don't know how to use a fucking rotary phone. You can still buy antennas for your TV to get all the free channels. Yeah, I think the government is obligated to give you the antennas.
Yeah, they're not.
Wait, I remember didn't they get rid of the radio waves that used antennas? Or
No.
some shit? My dad connected his old one to the apartment line a while ago. Uh-oh. You have within the past 5. Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow. Public broadcasting. I know, but I thought they got rid of the radio waves or some shit.
It's about 10 channels.
Oh, didn't they give people, like, TV boxes or some shit?
Mhm.
I don't... Yeah, because they needed you to be able to get the emergency broadcasting for tornadoes and shit. They still broadcast on those channels? Okay. I don't know, I thought they gave you those little fucking boxes.
I know channel 1 is disappearing.
Only get some shitty channels on my antenna. Okay.
I just bought a Roku.
A Roku, I do too.
Mm-hmm. I told Pudgy, and he's like, "What's a Roku?" And I'm like, "You're living in the past, man."
I think it's like the cheapest smart TVs you can get.
It's not even a smart TV. I just got the little box. It's like
Oh.
30. It's like $29
Oh, it makes,
for just a little box.
gives you all the apps and shit.
Yeah, it gives you all the apps and shit.
Oh.
And you can hook it up to any TV.
Oh, okay, okay. As long as your TV has a coax cable, you can get TV.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had cable since 2016. The internet just, they need to get rid of cable. Just, everything should be internet. Everything should be streaming. Get rid of cable. Some Eastern Asian soap opera with no subtitles channels and hit quality sports channels. I remember my mom's old Roku. I guess it's the way of the future now. Let's see. Using my chance to talk to you for even a little longer, I headed outside in my current state. Follow the road to the shopping district. Should be able to find one soon enough. With only those 2 lines as my guide, I ran outside the gates of the hospital. With the village nestled in a valley, the sun is set, it got dark quickly. The sparse streetlights lit up enough to start attracting moths. The Higurashi, knowing the time for their chorus was soon close, now I can't read this. The Higurashi, knowing the time for their chorus was soon at a close, redoubled their fragile cry. Why is this guy going out the? This guy's gonna get killed out here. Finding the payphone wasn't as easy as the person at the hospital had suggested.
Weren't we both hoping he was gonna die?
I wasn't hoping.
Why do you sound so disappointed that he's gonna go get himself murdered?
I wasn't hoping that he'd die. I just knew he would, and now he's doing it. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm a little disappointed in him too, but I mean, like, if you're that dumb
Like-
and you do that many death flags,
and then still risk it afterwards, after nearly getting killed. You're in. He's in
kind of your own
hospital.
fault.
He's
Your
in
own fault.
He's in hospital gown, walking out in public. He's like a clear fucking target, right? Because they know to be looking for fucking a guy,
Ugh.
and he's got
Ow.
It's so dumb. Finding the payphone wasn't as easy as the person at the hospital had suggested. Was it still up ahead? Did I miss it already? Was I just getting farther away? Just as I was about to be crushed by the wave of uncertainty towering over me, I found a shop on the corner with cigarettes written on a small sign. My door spurred me onwards. Just as I heard at the hospital, set next to the counter of the cigarette shop was an antiquated payphone. I wasn't wearing a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. I probably didn't have much time left, though. But it was enough. Just as long as I could tell Yuki my job was done and I would be coming home soon. Picking
He'd die while he's on the phone with her. That'd be good.
Like he picks up the phone and explodes and he's just dead.
He picks up the phone, and someone, as he's talking to Yukie, someone comes up behind him and stabs him in the back. And it's just like, shh,
Oops, you're dead.
no
And you're
more
gonna-
talk.
Gonna kill
Only
all the dumb
silence.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, no more talk. Only silence now.
Only dreams now.
Only dreams now.
Picking up the receiver, I slid a coin down the slot. But I felt that something was strange, just like at the hospital. Even after inspecting the coin, the phone showed no response. I hung up the receiver and tried putting in a coin one more time. But there was absolutely no response. The phone was dead. It couldn't be. Thinking that, I felt along the cord that protruded from the back of the phone. Doing that, my hands found the end of a completely severed line. What is this? Having now had the same thing happen twice, my bafflement was accompanied by a sense of unease. It seemed that the cord had been severed cleanly by a sharp blade of some sort. And I may be mistaken, but it didn't look like much time had passed since it was cut.
I told you, people. Missed.
Excuse me. Hello? Opening the booth window of the tobacco shop, I looked for someone in the dimly lit interior. Eventually, there were sounds of somebody plodding down the stairs, and an old lady appeared. The old lady's plodding on the lethargic steps for some reason only served to make me more frantic. Need some cigarettes? I'll need to get my husband.
Let me get my husband.
Whoops, my bad. I'm not here to buy cigarettes. Rather, this phone here. Realizing that saying the phone was broken and asking them to take a look at it was going to get me nowhere, I swallowed back my words. Sorry, it seems this phone is broken, and I was wondering if you could tell me where there's another payphone. The old lady moved her jaw up and down slowly, as if chewing on the meaning of my words. It seemed that she wouldn't understand she had digested things thoroughly.
So the phone is broken? That's a dilly of a pickle.
Really?
Oh! 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 Run away! Run away! Run away! Why would they both say the same thing? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. No, 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 no.
It's the dilly of a pickle conspiracy right now in the village. Severed payphones. What is this, LA? Did they do that in LA? They severed all the payphones? Shit. It's the dill pickle cult. Yeah, this is a bit size. If you make Oreos with the perfect amount of milk and then dip them in the milk to eat, does that mean we added too much milk? I have no fucking.
Apparently, Dilly is a company, so Dilly of a pickle.
You ever seen the movie The Crazies? You're in that town. Yeah, stupid teenagers destroy payphones. Wow. They're not much needed nowadays, but sucks. I've seen the remake of The Crazies. I haven't seen the original. The original's like a 1930s film, I think. It's been a while since I saw the remake, though, so I might have forgotten.
You should try another payphone.
That's what he was saying.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
The old lady directed me to another payphone that seemed quite a ways away. Her way of telling me was so long-winded that I inadvertently started to get impatient. At that moment, I spotted a clock in the dim interior of the store. The minute hand was just about to point straight up. Even if there was a payphone here that I could use, I would only be able to tell Yuki goodnight by the time I had. On top of that, my destination was a remote payphone, which I didn't know the exact distance. If I was of a normal state of mind, deciding to give up the phone today would have been a natural thought process. But at that moment, I had become somewhat stubborn for some reason. Unable to use the phone in the hospital and coming out here and still being unable to use one. There was no mistaking that I had become quite insistent on using a payphone. Or a phone. Thank you very much. I'll try looking for that phone booth. Are you serious, dude? Refusing her offer to draw me a map, I left the tobacco shop. Yeah.
He's gonna die. This fool's gonna die.
Like, he keeps wandering, like, further and further away from the fucking hospital. Find a goddamn phone. You're an idiot. According to the old lady, even though the phone booth was quite far away, it would be easy to find. If I just followed this road straight down, I'd eventually find it. Sandals flapping as I ran, I couldn't help but laugh at myself. Yeah, you're fucking stupid. I'll admit that I was quite steadfast about calling Yuki. But there were days when I was tired or busy when I wouldn't call her. Even today, my entire body was covered with injuries and I was dead tired. On top of that, there wasn't much time left. It wouldn't be strange at all if today was one of those days I didn't call her. But having twice been foiled trying to call her, had I become hot-headed about it? Was I like a dog who was being told to stay with a piece of food dangling in my face? What am I doing? Even so, I somehow couldn't quell the uneasy feeling sitting in the pit of my stomach. It was like that with the hospital phone, and the same with the one at the tobacco shop.
We about to be killed.
Fucking so dead. Both cords were definitely not severed from being frayed by long years of use. The clean cuts indicated that someone had taken something sharp and deliberately cut them. But who, and for what reason? The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt, so I tried to push the thought aside. How much had I run so far?
This man's so stupid, he deserves death.
I'm not even feeling sorry for him.
I don't feel sorry for him anymore. Like,
dude, come on. He could have used a phone in the goddamn hospital, but he's like, no, I don't want other people hearing me. When he was gonna have a short chat with his wife. Anyway, the scenery around me was no longer that of a shopping district, with the residential buildings scattered about the lonely road. The surroundings had already grown dark. I was blatantly out too far for a quick phone call, and it was quite obvious I was far removed from the hospital. I recalled the clock I saw at the tobacco shop. It might almost be time. I had run for quite a bit, so my breathing had grown quite ragged. If I had just wanted to hear Yuki's voice, I should have just thrown away my reservations and borrowed the phone in the office. Yeah, you fucking idiot. I regretted it a little. A little.
A little, your life is worth this much.
Well then, was it about time to give up? Just when I thought that, I saw the light in front of me. I had finally found it. It was a phone booth. It seemed that the light in the phone booth had recently been changed as it was shown with a vivid white light. Oh, probably because it's a fucking trap. Although in the gloom of Hinamizawa, it was nothing more than a gathering spot for moths. But in any case, I had finally found it. My hand touched the door of the phone booth. I realized that I was breathing and sweating heavily. I didn't know what time it was right now, but even if it was just for a moment, I might be able to get in touch with you. Since I had spent all this effort getting here, turning back without even giving it a try was out of the question. Before I picked up the receiver, another wave of uneasiness washed over me. I was worried that this phone cord might be severed as well. How was the cord in this phone booth? I squatted down. I followed the bundle of cables as they ran along the corner into the ceiling. At a glance, nothing was out of the ordinary. I ran my fingers as far as I could along the line to check it out. Only thing they found was a thick layer of dust. Nothing out of the ordinary. I wondered if it was popular in Hinamizawa to cut the cords of payphones as some sort of tasteless prank. Like in LA, at least? It might be prudent to talk to Oishi-san about this later, implying there will be a later for you. Even if it was nothing more than a prank, it was still vandalism of public property. In any case, this one was fine, this time. Pulling out a coin from my pocket with one hand, I picked up the receiver with the other. But this time, before the receiver even reached my ear, I felt something was off. The receiver was light. It was more than a slightly unpleasant feeling. It felt almost sickening. To verify the source of my displeasure, I peered at the receiver in my hand with a measure of reluctance. What the hell is this? The coiled cord that connected to the receiver to the rest of the phone had been ripped apart, the tip of the cable swaying in the air. Wait, what? Oh. It was all I could do to restrain myself as a raw and unpleasant feeling worked its way up the small of my back. It was a type of dread. At that moment, I heard the crunch of somebody stepping on gravel. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
There, finally, the trap. Finally.
The light was
It's my turn.
Christ. The light was reflecting off the glass walls of the booth, leaving me unable to see outside into the darkness. I steeled myself, stepped out of the phone booth.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Inside of the booth was lit with that strong light, which might have made it warmer in there. Just stepping outside, I could feel a chill wash over me. And there was a silhouette of a person. Small silhouette. The long hair of that silhouette was blown by the cool breeze.
Injured people shouldn't be injured people shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital.
Somewhere in my head, I knew who this girl was. I didn't have any basis for it, but I knew that she was that girl.
Right, Akasaka.
Gee, Rike Furure said that almost like it was a warning. Blech. Did you do this to the phone cord? Her expression remained unchanged, and my question was left unanswered. Meat, please don't kill. Oh dear. Uh-oh, creepy music, black screen, some weird creepy text bottom screen. This is gonna go bad. Yep. Yeah, I can't believe it. Yep. In other words, no response. Regardless, I felt that she had affirmed my suspicion. Why would you do something like this? Why? The last word had a tinge of anger behind it. I frantically tried to smooth things out, but she didn't seem very afraid.
There's nothing that can be done.
Huh? I interpreted her words as meaning that I wasn't going to be in time for calling hours at the hospital. But thinking about it, that would have been a strange thing to say. Why would she know something like that? I could take what she said to have any other meaning. Just stood there like a mannequin, not even moving an inch. Almost to the point, if the wind wasn't occasionally rustling through her long hair, there would be the illusion that time had stopped.
I know very well that you think I'm creepy, Akasaka.
Huh? No, that's not true. My denial came out almost like a bad piece composed for a poetry stuff. But her words are right on the mark. I'd always felt something ominous and uncanny about her. Ever since her strange threats at the shrine,
Hehe.
he had noticed that my expression was contrary to my words, seemingly laughing at the gap between them.
Akasaka, you coward.
I'm not a coward. Being laughed at by this small child didn't sit well with me, so I said that.
Hmm. Even if you find another phone, it's too late.
That's right. You didn't even have to say it. Absolutely too late. I'd have already missed calling hours even by the time I reached this phone booth. I was too late. I had no option but to give up for today. Once I decided that, my unhealthy obsession with the phone suddenly faded. Even I thought that this was strange that I was that obsessed. Strange obsession now gone, I began to laugh at how hopeless I was. I mean, just look at what I was wearing. It wasn't normal. Hospital gown and sandals. My head wrapped in bandages, and my body completely soaked in sweat. It was a wonder that the old lady at the tobacco shop wasn't surprised to see me. With wanting to hear Yuki's voice as my motive, I had trapezed around the town that entire evening. I didn't know whether to call it the follies of youth or simply plain embarrassing. In any case, it was all I could do but to laugh at myself.
Now, there's nothing left to do, for Akisaka's-san to do tonight.
He wasn't surprised because of the dilly pickle call. God damn it! Right, there's nothing. I'll just quietly return to the hospital.
That's fine. Do you know the way?
Hope I do. She waved her little hand as I began to head back the way I came. She began to follow alongside me. Looking at her face, I could see that she wore a mischievous smile, as if she was extremely interested in whether or not I would get lost. Rika-chan's house also this way?
It is. Trust me.
Won't your parents be mad that you're walking around alone at this hour?
Not really. My parents are busy today, so they probably forgot about me.
Shitty parents. Even then, it's best if you head home. They'll definitely be angry.
Even if they are, it's much more interesting to talk with Akisaka-san, so I'm fine. For
Rika
some
is
reason, I have Leon's voice today.
Rika's a true neutral fairy girl? Damn, I feel that, Rika. Uh-oh. What about the parents not giving a shit? Yeah, I know that feel too.
Y'all know that feel.
Yeah. Said that with a face free from worry as she looked up at me once more and smiled. When she showed me that smile, the eerie feeling surrounded her faded. But even then, she was still as mysterious to me as ever. We arrived at the corner I had turned earlier. It was much darker than before, and with the point of view changed on the return trip, I wasn't very confident that this actually was the corner I turned at. There was no mistake. It had to be this corner. As I began to move my feet again, the girl grabbed onto my clothes.
Isn't Akisaka-san going back to the hospital?
Of course. At least I intend to. Am I going the wrong way? Short moment of silence. Eventually, still holding on my clothes, she began to walk. It was the beginning of the walk to the hospital this mysterious girl would take me on. Uh-oh.
Bum, bum, bum.
Never saw him again. The person who was running around cutting all the phone cords was you, wasn't it, Rican? You didn't do that anymore.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Really? I tried to play dumb, but it was written all over her face.
Nippa.
It was obvious she was trying to laugh it off. That adorable smile of hers just made me want to forgive her. I'm going to be a horrible father, aren't I? That momentary lapse in tension was erased by her next words.
Hmm. It's good that they found the grandson safe and sound, but
Uh-oh. How did she know that? Unable to respond right away, I sunk into silence. I had already learned this from Sato-san's info, didn't I? This girl, no, this entire village, knew everything since the moment I set foot in it. I considered playing dumb. But in the end, I chose not to. With everything being known already, there was no point in me feigning ignorance. Somehow.
hmm, that's great. Now you can go back to Tokyo.
Thank you.
Hmm. Are your injuries bad, Akasaka-san?
Dunno, I haven't heard anything from the doctor yet, so I don't know if they are or not. Huh? To think of it, I vaguely remembered being told to lie down and take it easy for at least 24 hours. Yeah! Yeah, you fuck. Did that mean bed rest? Probably.
And the wounded shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital.
People shouldn't be cutting phone cords. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Nap, Rika. What you guys say?
Oh, fuck. Burn.
Hmm. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then I don't know what you're talking about either. Oh, fuck. Yes, Akasaka. As we played dumb with each other, we both laughed at the same time. Somebody saw us laughing at each other like this, it would probably bring a smile to their lips. Oh my.
Heck, chances of Akasaka leaving this village alive weren't very high. I don't want Akisaka-san to die, so I'm glad you're leaving the village alive.
You guys sure trying to die, so. Rika-chan, you knew who I was, right from the beginning, didn't you? Said nothing, gave a firm nod. Well then, I think you know this, probably somewhat of an enemy to the people in this village I was. Still gave me lots of warnings. Right. Said it at that time. You wouldn't warn somebody that she was okay with dying. Definitely said something like, "Hey, Plum! Is Rika doing spooky stuff right now?" Yeah? Yeah?
Yep.
And Akasaka's being a fucking idiot and, like, trying to get himself killed. Oh, man. Good to see you, Plum. How you doing tonight? Yeah, she'd probably be thanking you.
You probably should. I'm your savior.
Saying that, she puffed up her chest proudly.
Heh.
She said it jokingly, but the meaning behind those words was quite heavy. That was because whether I lived or died was a decision that might have been made in a place unbeknownst to me. She said those words with such an adorable smile that it took a few moments of silence for the weight to settle in. I'm doing okay, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Just trying to finish up this chapter so we can start chapter 5 on Wednesday. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Finally gonna get to the fucking answer arcs. The fuck's going on with this? I am super stoked. You said those words with such an adorable smile that it took a few moments of silence for the weight to settle in. I'd been to this place before. The Guardian's office was there. Stone steps leading up to the Furude shrine. When I passed by before, I was so focused on finding a phone booth that I hadn't realized where I was. If I recall correctly, this shrine is Rika-chan's house, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Looking up the shrine grounds, it was brightly lit and energetic voices could be heard. What was going on?
There's a festival today. Oh no!
Oh shit! A
Oh
festival!
no!
Oh
Oh
no!
no! No!
God! A festival?
The best and only festival in Hinaminazawa. The Watanagashi Festival.
Tanagashi? Cotton drifting?
Just knowing the name is boring. Do you want to take a look?
Yes, bluntly. But seeing that I looked interested, she climbed up a couple steps and motioned for me to come. I was only going to go back and sleep anyways. If I had nothing else to do, it might not be a bad idea to go with her on a little detour. You're going to go into a fucking festival wearing a gown and sandals and bandages. And you're fucked up with injuries and you want to go to a festival.
Come on, this is last day. Give him a little bit of credit. This fuck's gonna die.
I can't. This guy's so dumb.
He's
It'd be
so
like
stupid.
You know, like in horror movies, when you get mad at the survivors were doing stupid shit, and you're like, "Why are you doing this? This is the moment right now." And you're just like, "Why are you doing this? You're making all the wrong decisions, buddy. What are you doing?" Like, if I was fucked up and injured, why would I go to a festival? Go lay down, dude. Fuck. This guy doesn't give a shit about living. Oh my god. In the hostile territory that was this village, I didn't know what would happen if I ventured down a side road without Oishi. He knows it's a bad idea and he's doing it.
Hashtag armor means nothing in this show.
Oh my god.
Not even Rika has protag armor.
This guy doesn't have the armor right now. This is the end of the chapter. He's gonna die. He's gonna fucking die. Oh my god. Even though I thought of the village like that when I was with this girl, I forgot all about it. In any case, even without anything to back it up, I felt that as long as I was with her, none of the ill will from the village would befall me. Rika especially doesn't have protag armor. No, she doesn't! No, she doesn't! That's why even though I knew my cover was blown, I strangely had no qualms about setting foot in the heart of the Onagafuchi Guardian's territory. It's a trap! Climbing up the grounds to the shrine, I could see there were about 3 pavilions set up, with meeting tables and folding chairs. The old folks from the village, no, the executives of the Guardians, were already quite drunkenly sharing another round of drinks. I could only see it as people from the village council drinking while enjoying the evening air.
Yeah.
Rika going into each timeline knowing full well that she's gonna die again. Yeah. I wonder if she, like, remembers every... Oh, I think she does, huh? Or, I don't want to spoil myself.
She does. She does.
No, I don't want to spoil myself. I might shut my mouth. I could see as if people from the village council drinking were enjoying the evening air. At the very least, it was certainly quite different from any festival I'd ever seen.
Me? It's quite a boring festival, isn't it? Until we chop you up.
Chop, chop, choppy drop. Haha, this certainly doesn't look like a festival.
It's a festival that happened a long time ago. And as you can see, it's not like it used to be.
I wonder why. As if to chide the old folks, she said that while looking at them with an exasperated expression. You really couldn't call this a festival anymore. It was just a bunch of neighbors getting together to drink under the guise of a festival. Ha ha. I feel sorry for the deity being celebrated here.
I know, right? Give the sorry excuse for a festival 5 or 6 more years, then everybody in the village will start coming. The ceremony will also be done properly, and it'll be a respectable festival again.
It's not a festival without the murders, is it?
It's not a festival unless I get my blood sacrifices.
Oh, jeez. Index can chop me up. Okay. You gonna chop up Elise, Index? She doesn't answer. What she said was not so much wishful thinking as it was the telling of a future that had already been determined. Blood sacrifices, you said. Deep blood. Yep.
Nippa! Nippa!
But she said she was not so much wishful thinking as was the telling of a future that had already been determined. She wasn't even predicting it. It was almost like she was simply reporting the results. That's how it sounded. Even though it was baseless speculation, the way she said it wouldn't let me interject. It was the same way she talked when she changed. While I struggled to find the words to reply to her, she wandered over to the other side of the grounds, not minding me at all. Not in a state where I could...
Blood for the blood gods. Sorry, that's what Kane Trap said.
Blood for the blood gods.
Blood for the blood gods.
Gatton, would you like to join my cult of the dill pickle? Inspector, welcome, welcome.
Coom for the coom gads.
Coom for the coom. How you doing, Inspector? Inspector, having a good night tonight, I hope. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, a friend of yours, Plum? Any friend of Plum is a friend of mine. Welcome, everyone, to the Higurashi read-along. Plum will be joining me on Wednesday. It's gonna be fun.
Hopefully we can get to the next chapter. Read on!
Yeah.
Penguinado!
Yes, yes, Index. Index, stop calling all corn from the Warhammer over here. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, Spectre, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Glacierland. I'm your host, I Semper Penguinato. Enjoy the rides and don't freeze. Okay, not in a state where I could afford to be left behind, I hurriedly followed after her. Passing through a corpse of pine trees. Corpse of pine trees. Corpse, that's like a... Oh no, cops! Fuck! I read that... Index, you see what happened? I read that as corpse. I got morbid on the brain right now. Passing through a copse, that's like a group of pine trees, right? A group?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
A strong and cool breeze ruffled my hair. There, from that one evening, was the splendid observation platform the girl had shown me.
Oh.
As it had grown completely dark, the modest lights littered across the nightscape, providing a different type of scenery. Index, did you shout out Plum?
Yeah.
Everybody should check out Plum. Great voice acting. She did a really good job on Doki Doki Literature Club. That was some fantastic voicing.
Looking at all this village seems tranquil. I don't know what voice I'm using today.
She said that with an indifferent look on her face.
Yeah. Penguinato has like 4 mods in his chat right now, and he asks me to do it.
Oh.
I'm special.
I don't know if Cold Club is watching right now. I don't know if they're... Oh, Elise! I forgot she's a mod. Damn it, I could have had Elise do it.
Platinum Lily is still in chat too.
I don't know if they're listening though.
Lurking.
I forgot Elise.
Lurking.
I forgot Elise was fucking the mod. No, damn it. I could have had Elise.
Yeah, Cold
do it.
Club's here.
Huh?
Cold Club just responded.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, I got mods active. I'm lurking. Okay, I don't know if you guys are like lurking or just... I don't know. That's why I was like, Index, please.
Haha.
I guess Index's favorite mod right now.
Best mod. Best girl. Best girl.
Anyway, just the other day, you said that this village definitely wouldn't be submerged by the dam, didn't you? She didn't reply, seemingly relishing in the feeling of the wind blowing through her hair. Didn't that mean, at that point in time, the minister had already complied with the demands?
Hmm.
Spun around, her gaze meeting mine. You're too much. Said nothing. Spoke nothing that would neither confirm nor deny what I had just said.
Dene?
Deny.
Dene?
It's deny now, it's not deny. That's how we pronounce it from now on. This case will probably remain shrouded in darkness. Headquarters probably doesn't want trouble from a scandal with the minister breaking out.
There's no mistaking that they threatened to kill the grandchild.
Then negotiations with the minister was successful. The grandson was released.
At least, can you clip him saying Dene?
Oh, please don't. Oh, God.
Please do it, do it, do it, do it.
No.
The one who saved the grandson was you.
I wonder about that. The discovery of the wallet that started this chain of events. That alone was almost too convenient, I think. Oh, Plum. Oh, boy, here we go. Wait. Double penguin there. I hope you're happy. Hope you're happy, Plum. How long were you saving up that for? Everybody loves that redeem. That's like everybody's favorite redeem on my channel, I swear. I'm glad I came up with it. Like, I'd have friends say they were gonna lurk while they sleep, but then they would come back and redeem it. Oh, I gotta do the cursed RR now. Oh boy. That's my cursed Ada. That's why it's 666 points. Okay. That alone was almost too convenient, I think. Ever since that moment that wallet was discovered, I felt something was... Oishi said it as well. That the Sonozaki family had given the order to release the hostage. Meaning that our little manhunt was a farce to begin with. Come to think of it... Thank you, Index, thank you.
I'm Pickle. Oh wait, is that one not I'm Pickle Rick anymore? It's applause?
Yeah, it's applause.
Cheated me. Oh wait, no, I wanted to do the I'm Pickle Rick!
I'm Pickle Rick!
I clicked the wrong one, god damn it!
Oh, you done goofed. You're gonna run out of points, Index.
I goofed. I'm Pickle Rick!
I want a sweet drink, but there aren't any left. Well, don't start drinking pee, at least. Not good for you. Tengu, can you turn the alerts volume setting down? It's always way louder than it. Oh, I think I can.
No.
I'd have to fuck with the settings, wouldn't I?
Well,
I'd have to configure the plugin, I think.
no, because it's more funny that they can't hear you.
Is it?
Yeah, it's more
least-
funny to me.
at
Ba
least-
ba 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 bam.
At least doesn't agree with you, for once. Let's see. Come to think of it, I was punched, kicked, and had a gun pointed at me. I felt like they put apart a fight, but that might have been all part of a good performance. Crap.
Trap.
I can't, Indy won't sell me her PT. Oh,
My gamer girl water is $500.
I don't know. That's a lot.
Yep.
Negotiation.
I'll say gamer girl water.
If that's
It'll
how
be
much
$500.
that's how much your gamer girl water, how much is defeat pigs?
I would send Penguin Auto feet pics if you sent me $200. It is a lot. But I will go get a pedicure before I give you pics.
How much does a manicure or pedicure cost?
$40.
I'll see if Hamu or Lily Blues is for sale. Oh god. Oh goodness. I get a friend discount, right? Synthetic.
Penguin knows why mine would be expensive though, because I don't want to show anyone my feet.
I bet they look a lot nicer than Index thinks. That's all I'm gonna say.
No. Because I still have that thing on them and I'm trying to get rid of it.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
Is it on the bottom or the top?
The bottom.
Okay. Well, it probably sucks to walk. Fuck.
Yeah, it's really painful.
Jesus. Once the negotiations were successful, they couldn't just say, "Here you go," and return the minister's grandson. They knew that public safety had realized that this was a kidnapping case and were moving it on. That's why, due to the actions of public safety, the grandson was able to be rescued safely. So the minister didn't give in to any unreasonable demands. That type of performance was necessary.
I don't know about those difficult things.
Leopard picks when? If I get to 1,000 followers on Twitter. I need 75 more followers on Twitter and I'll do it.
Wait, are you that close to 1,000?
925 last I checked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Watch, I check it again, I drop like 20 followers.
I'm like stuck at 800 forever.
Oh man, it's a pain in the ass. Honestly, I think art's the way to go. Posting the skebs I've got helped me out a lot. Would you show your arm feet? What?
My hands? Where I post your pictures of my fingers.
Yeah, we've seen your fingers.
Yeah, especially when they're like, it's the middle finger.
Oh, Index. Likewise. Even for me, I can't make much sense of it. But there's one thing I can be certain of.
Aww.
It's just as you said. The village won't be submerged. The dam project will soon be over. That wasn't something an officer of the law should be saying. But I naturally let those words slip off. This village may have stirred up all sorts of trouble. But that was because they were protecting their homes. If someone just decided by themselves that I had to leave the house I was used to living in, I would resent them as well. On top of that, it wasn't a place like mine where I just happened to be renting it, but a place that their families had lived for generations. It might be ignorant to call their desperate resistance an overreaction. I might not really be qualified to criticize politics or bureaucracy. But deliberately building a dam on land that was loved by its residents wasn't something I could get behind. Still, aren't you glad?
Aww. Well, that's a good picture. Screenshot that for me.
Yep.
Thanks. Send it to me later.
I will. This is really nice art.
I am that beat.
At the very least, with this, peace will return to this village. Yeah, right. Even though the minister promised to use its considerable influence to cancel the project, it would probably take more than a few months before it would be completely scrapped. At the very least, it would probably take 1 or 2 years. For the villagers to officially hear that their village wasn't going to be submerged at the bottom of a dam was still a ways away. But it was no mistake that the promise of peace returning to the village was there. It turned out, from the beginning to that end, that it had already all been decided. Just as the girl had said, it was decided. There wasn't really a need for me to come here in the first place. There was absolutely no need for me to have come here and aggravate an unpleasant situation. If I had never come here then, Granson's release might have been done in an amicable manner. In a more amicable manner. Probably.
Probably. Peace? In this village?
When I nodded, she laughed as if to admonish me. But her face remained indifferent, expressionless. Oh. And her eyes narrowed slightly as one of this.
Even though every year from now on, something bloody will occur. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. Wait, what?
What are you talking about? As the wind blew her hair about, the girl, as if taking pleasure in what I was the only one who didn't, continued to snicker as she looked at my face for a while.
You see,
She was changing facial expressions.
in a few years, I'll be killed.
That's ominous.
Huh?
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 Backlit by the moon, it was hard to tell if her expression that had been cast in the shadow was smiling, amused, or resigned. Bill? Why?
It's a very unpleasant thing, though. It's also probably been decided already.
Decided already? Who would decide that sort of thing?
I'd like to know that as well.
Turning back to face me, she showed me a resolute expression for the first time. And after staring into my eyes for a moment, she turned back to gaze at the scenery before she spoke her next words.
There's a lot of people who have no regard for human life. Even if I tell you this, it might not change anything, though. But if you want to erase the specter of death, sometimes, like with the reflection of the moon on water, all you have to do is throw a small stone.
Here's another fucking face she's
Hmm.
I had no idea what she was trying to say. It's just, I had to listen to every word with my body and soul. At least that's what I thought.
Then this day next year,
Another fucking... I don't know if that's a new one or not.
yes, June 1979, on this day, the foreman of the dam construction project will be killed.
What? For a moment, I couldn't comprehend what she was talking about. By the foreman, you mean that gruff old man I played mahjong with? But... be killed? What makes you think... She didn't answer, but she had the same expression on her face as she did when she declared that the dam project would go away. That wasn't the face of somebody making a forecast or a prediction. It was something that was already decided. No. It was as if she was already reporting the results, that sort of expression.
After being killed in a gruesome manner, the body will be torn apart and disposed of.
Murdered and dismembered.
The next year, in June 1980, on this day, Satoko's parents will be pushed to their deaths.
Satoko? It was the first time I heard that name, but I didn't have the courage to interrupt the girl's story.
It might be an accident. An unfortunate accident.
Let's go for the night. Enjoy Rika telling you about the end of days. Yeah, she's like fucking Nosferatu or some shit right now, huh? Good night, Zen. The girl smiled faintly, but she wasn't exactly encouraging me to smile along with the lifeless look in her eyes.
And then, the year after that, this day, in June of 1981, my parents will be killed. I know. I think you mean Nostradamus. Not Nosferatu, which is a vampire.
Stop making fun of me.
We love you anyway.
Stop it. It's all because I can't use your fucking rotary phone, isn't it? Jesus.
And then the year after that, this day in June 1982,
Plum says this art is iconic. Yeah, it looks great. Beautiful. I'm gonna send it to Index later.
Satoko's abusive aunt will have her head split open and die. And then the year after that, this day in June 1983, or possibly a few days afterwards, I will be killed.
I actually like this line right here too.
If all the deaths are preordained, then the last one would also be according to plan.
All according to Kakaiku.
But then whose plan would it be?
The village is full of murderers and people have no regard for human life. It'd be fine to believe that all the deaths up to 1982 would be the work of somebody in the village. It'd be fine to believe that all the deaths would occur were at the discretion of those who control the village. But that didn't explain what would happen in 1983. There was no way that the last death would fit in with anybody's plans. They had no regard for human life. They'd use every means at their disposal to meet their goals. But their goals were at odds with the last death. That's why the last death was unrelated to them. But that last death would definitely, most likely, probably, without question, happen. Probably, definitely, I dare say. The last death would be a merciful. Handkerchief or something being placed over their mouth, making them lose consciousness, never to wake up again. Exactly whose plan was that?
I want to live happily. That's my only wish. Surrounded by my precious friends, spending our days enjoyably. Only that. I don't wish for anything more than that.
Rika-chan.
I don't want to die.
This girl, stoic as ever, let those last words slip in the end. Eventually, we were discovered by some drunks. The girl, as well as I, were dragged back to the festivities. Everybody was completely drunk, so even when they saw my head completely wrapped in bandages, they wouldn't let me leave. Well, certainly if I was in good enough condition to slip out of the hospital, it must not be that soon. The girl was mingling with everybody, being pampered like a kitten. Her expression was adorable, nothing like the one from just before. Predicting her own death and whispering that she didn't want to die. Having said that, having a silly and lively conversation like this, it was hard to believe that these people were the core of extremist resistance. Even if it was a shell of its former self, it was a festival where people in the village gathered, so the 20-some-odd folk here should have included some of the village executives and some other important members.
Yum 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 yum
We
yum
must
yum.
keep Rika safe from dying. Well, that's not gonna happen, sadly. Among those, there was no doubt that there were members that were at the Sonozaki Family Council in attendance. Meaning, even if we never met face to face before, there were people here who knew my identity. In a small village like this, they knew the faces of all the villagers that lived here. That's why, without even saying anything, it soon became obvious that I was an outsider. But they actually seemed interested by that, asking me all sorts of questions about Tokyo. Drinking while musing on the faint relationship the city had with the villages and empathizing with the rather meager environment. The confidential talks with the minister were finished, his grandson was in police custody, everything was over. I might not have to be put in another perilous situation. To me, they were only my adversaries because of my job. Outside of that, there was no reason I couldn't be friendly with them. Next time I visited this village, would it return to being a tranquil and beautiful place? If that happened, I might be able to take a relaxed walk around the village with her again. My cup was once again filled to the brim with beer. By the time I was able to get away, it was the middle of the night. The girl had disappeared. It seems that her parents had told her to go home and sleep when she let out a large yawn. The old folks, who had absolutely no remorse for making an injured person hang out with them, told me as much as they laughed. I was just there drinking, so I had the thought to help a bit with cleanup. However, my help was refused on the grounds that I was a guest. On top of that, they had a cart prepared to take me back to the hospital. Oh, how nice! Losing the battle against my sleepiness inside the car, I was sound asleep till we reached the parking lot of the hospital. The front door of the hospital was unnaturally locked at this hour. I wandered about bewilderedly searching for a back entrance until somebody on night duty found out and let me in. Where were you this late at night? Dr. Ide was worried, you know. Sorry for the trouble. I was held up by people having a festival at the shrine. Oh, they did say something about everybody in town council gathering together for a drink. My condolences. Are your wounds alright? They're throbbing a bit. It's probably because of the alcohol, I think. Oh, that's right. The detective that was with you wanted to get in touch. Oops. I kept Oishi-san waiting. I glanced at the clock. No matter how you looked at it, it was way too late to call him now. I'll apologize to him tomorrow over the phone. I returned back to my hospital room and slipped into bed that was still unmade from the time I went outside. Oh, that's not good. I have to turn off the lights. My wariness had cut the cord powering my body, lulling me into a deep sleep. Oops. Well, dude.
He never wakes up.
Well, all I can say is he's damn lucky he didn't fucking die again. Jesus. Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
Mother's Diary 1, 2, and 3. Dude just keeps dodging death.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
No, I had some Cheetos, I had my food, I had a little bit of marshmallows, and I just finished my sucker.
Oh my. Oh my.
I ate a lot of food.
Okay, Dex, I'll let you read it.
Oh, sucker. There was something I didn't like about my child. I first realized it when I started writing these things down. They never warn you about it in any books about raising children, but they aren't just a plaything. If they aren't able to feel loved when they're not doing exactly as their parents want them, then those parents are failures. This wasn't something like that, though.
Yes, they do. That's what every childbearing book tells you. Pretty much that kids aren't just a fucking walk in a park. I hope that they didn't say that.
How can I say it? It's probably harder to express with mere words. I just want my child to be average. As long as they weren't falling behind. There wasn't any need for them to excel at something. As long as they acted appropriately for their age, I would have been fine with that.
Not that easy, lady.
But my child had been different ever since kindergarten. While the children in her class were running around in excitement about the field trip the next day, she wore a bored look on her face, aloof and distant. When the other kids broke the equipment for the athletics festival and were apologizing fervently, She only wore a bored look on her face, aloof, indifferent. Indifferent. When the teacher was reading a fun picture book, only she wasn't smiling. Even if they got to eat delicious bento, only she wasn't happy. If it was only this, it would seem to be in the realm of understanding. However, what I don't understand about my child is that if the aforementioned situations happened again, they'd now act in the manner befitting their age. I don't understand the principle behind that. As a parent, they were why were they indifferent about the field trip, but happy about this one? Why were they indifferent about that picture book, but happy about this one? Why were they indifferent about that bento, but happy about this one? The former and the latter in each situation seemed exactly the same to me. There was even times when I thought the former one was better. I don't understand that child's feelings. During the parent-teacher meetings, the teacher always says the same thing.
Who is this writing this?
I think it's Meep's mom.
Oh, Rika's mom?
Again, I think it's Rika's mom.
I don't think it's Yuki. I don't know if this is like a fast forward thing ever, but I don't think it's Yuki.
And I would always respond to that. I don't understand my own child, and we would mope together. My husband, always the optimist, once said that that child's feelings are different from an adult's. So there were some things that we don't understand. We shouldn't worry about it. I lament his lack of urgency. One day when I was in a good mood, I took the effort to prepare a menu for the child would enjoy. But she only smiled with a vague expression of disinterest. That attitude frankly made me angry, so I hit her on the head. Violence solves all your problems.
Yeah.
On a day when the weather was nice, the laundry I just hung up to dry was blown by a large gust of wind, causing the entire line to fall down. But she watched me trying to pick up the laundry in a panic, stood there laughing. The attitude frankly made me angry, so I hit her on the head.
See a pattern.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm mad at child, so I hit her.
I think the same sort of thing happened countless times.
Really?
Before I knew it, my child was only able to look at me with an indifferent expression on her face. I regret the fact that I've been a bad mother. Thinking I should regain her trust, I thought to get a little back a little by little with some light interactions.
Maybe not hitting her on the fucking head?
Maybe don't abuse your fucking child.
Yeah.
Seeing her do some sort of craft work on the veranda, I called out to her.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going. Shitty mom abuses autistic child? Great. Oh, wow. Is Rika autistic? Huh.
Could be seen that way.
Possibly. I
Or
wish
she
I
could
were...
just be like me and just have been disinterested.
Yeah.
Doesn't interest me.
Damn, I wish I were average. Damn, I wish I would have been able to act age appropriate. This is one of the Autism Speaks moms who says her child getting diagnosed like them dying? Jesus fucking Christ. What? Like the parents dying or the kid? From this description, sounds likely. I suppose, yeah. Not reacting socially to... Not reacting appropriately socially, I guess.
It
Laughing.
could be seen as that, but if it's Rika, and not only is she getting hit or like that type of stuff, it could be a sign of abuse, or it could be if it's Rika and she knows she's gonna die, she could just be disinterested because she knows that she's gonna die.
Like, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
But
Autism,
children who are abused just start closing off.
Autism Speaks is a hate organization. Is it? I thought it was like a pro trying to spread the word? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. A lot of characters by Zero Sum expansion are autistic coded. Oh. No. Autism Speaks is a hate org. What is it like? What do they do? They spread false information about autism or something? Is this the same person we were about to give birth as the guy for the trip? No, I don't think it's Yuki. I think it's Rika's mom. Seems very likely it's Rika's mom now. Ah. Singer do some craft work. Oh yeah, you already read that. Oh, it is Rika's mom. What do you know?
These past few days have been nice and sunny. The air feels nice, doesn't it? Hmm. That child with the indifferent look on her face I hated so much looked up at me for a moment, then without a word returned to immersing herself in her craft work. No, I think she's just abused by her mom.
I think I was like this. I had ADHD. Thinking about all kinds of shit, not paying attention to what's going on. Might be the different look. I don't know. Maybe.
It's very how much I was as a child because, like, my dad was so abusive. And my mom was about like this too.
My mom
So,
had
like,
that shit hardcore as fuck too, and she face out all the time. What the fuck?
mm,
My dad was like the angry one, who he also had it, but he didn't like. I don't know. He just got mad about shit. They promote very fucked up views on autism, and many of their members have supported anti-vax. Oh, because they think vaccinations cause autism. Aren't they trying to help people with autism or some shit? Think?
can't save the dumb. Up until now, I would have hit her on the head for just for that.
Just
Yeah,
because
she just sounds fucking abusive.
she doesn't look right?
I held myself back.
Oh, bravo to you for not hitting your kid that one time.
What are you making? What are you making? Is it a doll? Oh, a weather charm.
That child was.
Child.
Oh, wait, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
That child was using inserts from the newspaper to definitely make some weather charms. The weather hadn't called for rain, but that child, in her own way, was praying for these sunny days that these sunny days would continue. Being able to understand my own child for the first time in a while, I couldn't hide my own happiness. Hmm. Bringing out a ball of yarn, I began to hang my child's cute weather charms from the eaves of the house. It's no good, Rika. The heads are too heavy. See? They've become reverse weather charms now. If they're like this, they'll call the rain instead of the sun. When I started to take them down, the child tugged at the hem of my shirt as if to stop me. That's because I made them to be upside down. They're fine. But, Rika, if they're upside down, they won't be charms that call for a sunny day, you know. I was making a charm for it to rain, so they're fine. I desperately suppressed the emotions welled up inside of me. I was trying desperately to understand my child.
How dare she want rain, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. The morning glories in the garden have started to get a little wilty from all the sun. So you wanted some rain, right? That child turned to me with the expression I hated the most. I got bored of all the clear weather. I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't understand that child.
Mom's kind of crazy.
I think her mom's just fucking abusive.
Okay, so the mom might be going through menopause, right?
No,
I'm just saying, not to be all like asshole.
no, that menopause doesn't cause like anger.
Doesn't?
Menopause gives you hot flashes, dumbass.
I don't know.
It just makes you hot or really cold, and you're irritable because you're either really hot or really cold.
So she's irritable by stupid shit.
Yeah, no, she's just irritable because she's a bitch.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. I was just wondering.
Obviously, she's just a bad parent.
That
During the family council, she buried herself under Oryu's futon again.
they give parents who don't know any better false information. Not enough. Okay. Index diagnosing this woman with irritable bitch syndrome. Yeah, I guess that sounds more appropriate. Well, Rika's like 5 years old, so it's probably not that age. So I misjudged. Menopause is like
Oryu,
40s?
Oryu dotes on her unwaveringly. I think this is someone else's mom.
One right here?
This one.
Oh, okay.
No matter whatever insolence my child commits, she doesn't mind. It's almost as though my child is a kitten or something. Or you dotes on her exactly like you would a kitten.
Oh, the Sonozakis. Or
Mm-hmm.
you talking, I guess? Or
No, this is this. So she always talks with her grandmother. This is Mion's mom.
oh, okay.
Mia, mommy. As her mother, I chide her for doing that. Till Oryu had said 3 times that it was fine. Chide her as a formality. Of course, she never lends an ear to any of my chiding. Knowing that Oryu's standing was far above mine, she behaves like that. I don't like that cunning. That's unbefitting of her age either. In any case, not only Oryu, but the rest of the old folk in the village spoil her too much. Am I saying it wrong?
What are you?
Chide. One day I was surprised. By chance, on the way back from shopping, I saw her by herself just outside the candy shop. My own child suddenly grabbed a snack, opened the package right there, and then started eating it.
I think I've done that as a kid, just started eating candy before I even bought it. Oh man, those are crazy times.
She didn't make any attempt to pay for it, and she didn't even think of looking around. It didn't even feel like she was shoplifting, more like she were brazenly eating snacks that were offered to her. When I began to admonish my child, the elderly shop owner appeared and covered for her. The owner gave in a ridiculous excuse that he had said it was okay that the child to eat the snacks out by the entrance, so it's fine.
He doesn't want to get his shit pushed in by the grandma.
And I tried to pay for the snacks that my child had eaten. The owner refused my money. During that exchange, more old folks had suddenly gathered around, and it began to feel like I was the one in the wrong. The elderly people all put their hands together reverently in front of my child and repeatedly voiced their respects. I was born into the Furure family, so it wasn't like I don't know why she was being treated specially.
Okay, so this is still the mom. Birthday mom. That's
Yeah.
Rika. Okay.
When I was still young, it was something I had heard often from my grandmother. If by chance the child that I give birth to was a girl, that child will be living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama. All the elderly folk believe that she's the living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama and spoil her rotten.
That's why the mom hates her?
And not only did they spoil her, they even told her she was the living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama. That she had divine power and threw all sorts of strange folk tales her way.
Just move out of town before having a kid easy. Something pretty easy, yeah.
Yeah. So she may have begun to believe herself that they were a special existence. I went around and told everyone that it wasn't good for her upbringing, so to stop telling her all these strange things. But there was no uprooting that elderly people's deep-seated superstitions. Told my child not to listen to them, but it ended up being that she stopped listening to me. Between all the old folks in the village, who would dote on her, and myself who only scolded her, there was no way, there was no wonder who she would listen to. There's no mistaking that the reason she had become strange was because of the elderly villagers.
Fucking boomers.
There was no doubt that they had shoved her full of strange folk tales and superstitions since she was young. If it wasn't for that, there was no doubt my child would have been cute and normal.
How dare she be special?
Some moms do be like that. Ugh. One sunny parent-teacher day, there was a cooking class and my child was making curry rice with a practiced hand.
What about Shion? She wasn't really special because she was part of the main household, I believe. Forget.
No, it's
Mion's
because she's second born. Mion's firstborn.
okay. Mion was the
She's just
fucking
not special.
yeah.
While the other children her age were awkwardly using their kitchen knives, that child was weeding hers
Definitely.
deftly. Deftly?
Yeah, I believe.
The teacher approached her with a smile on her face, saying that it must be a result of learning it at home.
Well, what do you know? Your child's pretty skilled with a knife.
Kawaii. I managed to play it off with some vague smile and nod in response. That's because I had never once taught my child how to make curry rice. Even then, She was peeling vegetables with a practiced hand, adding them to the pot in the order in which took longer to cook. For a normal parent, they might unintentionally clap their hands together, happy at their child's actions. But in my case, it was different. There was no mistaking that somebody had taught her how to make that curry rice when I wasn't taking care of her.
Why? Because you didn't fucking take care of her.
Or this is another lifetime, and she's already done it in a separate life.
Possibly.
Thinking that, I quietly fell into an unpleasant mood. When I asked, it seemed as if she could sew and do laundry. I never taught her how to do those, and again, never saw her do it around the house. Be it cooking, or sewing, or laundry. Again, there was probably because the elderly villagers taught her all sorts of rubbish when I wasn't looking. And not only that, they probably taught her all sorts of strange superstitions, trying to prop her up as the living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama. I said as much to my husband, suggesting that we keep our child away from the elderly folk. But my husband, who was in the position of being the head priest of the Furude shrine, had little power against the elderly who supported it. He took the rather uncommitted stance of saying that as long as she was being doted upon, wasn't it fine? I argued against that. That she was our child, and should be a completely normal girl. That what the elderly were expecting and that she was living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama was simply odd. The elderly villagers believe that child has divine powers. We would discuss the weather for the following day, but there were many times when I left the house without an umbrella, coming back soaking wet. Rather than having clairvoyance, that was just secondhand knowledge from her watching the news all the time. The things that she knew that she shouldn't have known were just the result of people who were trying to indoctrinate her and the people who were gossiping getting together in the village. However, there certainly were days when everybody thought it was going to be sunny all day and the child stubbornly would not go out with an umbrella. It would occasionally rain, and in the end, we would be saved. There might also have been times when Reika knew of major accidents in foreign countries faster than the news did. I thought she must have heard it break over the radio or something. Knowing things she shouldn't have, something like that was in front of me right now, wasn't it? The child was making curry rice when there shouldn't have been anyone who taught her how to. No, that couldn't possibly be the case. Somebody had taught her, indoctrinated. And when I wasn't taking care of her, somebody indoctrinated Rika was something. Furide-san. Ah. Yeah. I can't remember what Chia's voice is.
She's just the mature teacher lady.
Furide-san curry is absolutely splendid. I'll give it a gold star. That's wrong. It's like Shion and a little bit of sex. Where did you learn to cook like that, Furude-san? At home? Yes, at home. The other parents in attendance were impressed. Lies. All lies. I didn't teach her anything.
Because you suck.
Who was it? Who was it? Who was the person who completely indoctrinated my child? She was my normal, average daughter, not the living incarnation of Oyashihiro-sama. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we're good.
Damn, that mom cray cray.
She totally cray-cray.
Accident that happened in a small village that anyone could forget. One day after the tragedy had come to, just as the scars began to heal, the young man thinks logically. The words he couldn't ask that day, the promise he couldn't fulfill that day, regrets and lamentations, fate, and become a single hope.
Matsubishi.
Fate isn't only about happiness, but there's no one that would win. Midsummer 1985. Oh wow, big time. Yuki, who the fuck is that? Papa, are you there, Papa? Oh, it's the kid. Nice. Huh? Oh. Are you alright? Were you having a scary dream? Yuki was sitting next to me. I quietly patted her head after hearing her say that. Okay, so it's Miki's a girl.
Oh, yeah, Miyuki is a girl's name.
Derp, I should have been able to fucking tell that. I must have had a bad dream while sleeping in the cabin. I was sweating profusely. No, it's nothing. I guess it's a little hot in here. I tried to wipe away the sweat while answering and looked around for a handkerchief or towel. And then a cold drop ran down my forehead. Miyuki turned to me and smiled, then wiped my face with the towel she received as takeoff. There. Thanks, Miyuki.
Of course.
Thanks to her, I was finally able to shake off my slumber, so I got up from the aisle seat and looked out the window. I wrapped my arms around Miyuki, the window seat, and listened to the noise as the land and sea blew past us before our eyes.
Wow, it's Hokkaido. Hokkaido is so big.
That's where I want to go if I go to Japan.
I want to go to Edo.
And then the plane gently turned before entering the airport runway.
This is good music.
I arrived at the lobby. I glanced around looking for Rishi, and was met with a familiar gruff voice calling out to me. Akasaka-san! No! How many years has it been? It's been a while, hasn't it? Oishi-san! Really has been a long time. Oishi clapped his hand down on my shoulders, celebrating our reunion. Akasaka-san, you're looking pretty good. You look like a bona fide frontline investigator now. You're looking quite dapper yourself. Posture seems a lot better. Is the ballroom dancing paying off? You should give it a try while you're still young. You'd be a hit with the ladies. Real babe bagged it. No! Oishi had retired and moved to Sapporo, and all things had started taking ballroom dancing lessons. He had apparently gotten really into it, and decided to spend the rest of his new life devoted to that hobby. Dancing. Oishi's doing dancing. Did you have guessed that, Index?
I'm not pole dancing. Knowing Oishi, I figured he'd be in a club somewhere.
I love Pengu's trademark hearty old man laugh so much. Yeah, I listened to the voice actor do his laugh, and I kind of just imitate it. Like just reading it it's not how it sounds actually. The way the voice actor actually does it is different.
The Japanese one?
Yeah, they actually have all the Japanese voice actors from the anime voice these.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to see deer that aren't fucking scared of humans. I'd want to go to the deer village in Nara. Oh, nice. Boomer Nato, Pengu OG. Boomer Nato, that's funny. He was aiming to get his instructor's qualifications before he hit 80 and live out his old age dandily. Jesus Christ, is that fucking old? Oh. No! Who might this be? Aw, what a cute little kid.
He's so cute.
Oishi suddenly turned his attention to Miyuki, who was standing idly next to me. He bent down on his knees to look her in the face.
Oh.
However, my daughter was frightened and hid behind my back. Come on, Miyuki. Please introduce yourself properly.
I,
She was staring at Oishi with a dubious expression while tugging at the hem of my shirt. She's usually not this shy. I wonder what's wrong. Sorry about that. She's usually not like this. Oh no, it's no problem. This old man just has a scary face. If you don't mind, could you tell me your name?
I'm Miyuki Hakusaka. I'm 7 years old. Nice to meet you.
Great, that was a good introduction. I'd expect no less from Akasaka-san's daughter. Oishi gently stroked Miyuki's head and smiled as though she were his own grandchild.
Pat me.
After finally seeing that, Miyuki smiled in relief. Shortly afterwards, Miyuki told me that she was just doing what I had told her to do. Be careful around strangers. Oishi overheard that and let out a hearty "Wah!" shaking his body while laughing and walking. I let myself into Oishi's car, and we headed out towards the hot spring inn. I had originally intended to crash at Oishi's place, but Oishi was quite obstinate that his home wasn't suitable for that, so it came to this. At the inn, we relaxed while soaking in the hot spring, then ate a delicious feast until we were full. Yuki had a little of Mongolian barbecue and was delighted with it. After our bellies were swollen, Yuki grew sleepy and went off to bed, and Oishi and I reminisced about the time we played mahjong together in Hidemazawa. It seemed that to celebrate our reunion, Oishi had to look for people who could play. But unable to find a suitable candidate, we had to give up on putting together a table. As we drank together, we excitedly recounted our exploits during the final manhunt. Did they end up catching those two guys? Nope. In the end, the search team... What?
He looks so good.
Does he?
He looks so good. I like him in that better than his regular stuff. He looks less pudgy.
But I thought you liked Pudgy.
Shut up!
What?
Don't help me like that.
I thought you liked Pudgy, though.
Don't help me like that.
Don't you like Pudgy?
Don't help me like that.
What do you mean out you like that?
Don't help me like that.
In the end, the search team never found them. They were probably hidden by the villagers, then sent overseas or somewhere else far away to lay down low for a bit. Oishi-san, if I remember correctly, you managed to grab one of their guns, didn't you? Learn anything from that? Index likes them thick. Is that true, Index?
Stop outing me.
Be Pudgy the headset game. Indy, your husband harem slave is named Pudgy.
Leave me alone.
Okay, it was a foreign military pistol. It's probably from the ones the gangs in Kansai managed to smuggle in a ton of. We tried to get a match for the rifling, but it didn't show up in any of their cases. How about on your end? After that, I was removed from the front line, so I don't know much. In the end, it seems like everything was settled under the veil of secrecy. No! Oishi smiled wryly as he sipped his chilled drink. What happened after that? Sure was tough, huh? It has been 7 years now? Yeah. We held the memorial service a few days ago. I've become estranged with my father-in-law lately, so it was rough getting everything ready. Oh my god, did his wife die? Oh, Jesus. No! That must have been a lot of work. It was then that the hostess brought in extra drinks that we had ordered before. While the bottles of beer clanked as she brought them in, we halted our conversation. What Oishi meant when he said it must have been tough. Thinking about that was still hard, but time had healed the wound. It was the day after, when I phoned Oishi to apologize. When I did that, Oishi almost immediately handed the phone to one of my colleagues who happened to be there. Not only was I injured in the brawl with the suspects, but I disappeared to drink late in the night without leaving any sort of contact information. So I thought he'd definitely be mad. However, all he said was that it was something he couldn't talk about over the phone, and that I should come to the station as soon as possible.
Dude, did our wife die?
Oh boy.
Our wife's dead.
At the time, I could only think that he must have been really pissed off. But when I arrived at the station, he said this. It seems your wife was involved in an accident. Having no idea what happened, I borrowed the phone to contact the hospital you were staying at. After being given the runaround several times, I was finally able to talk to someone in charge. After mincing words for quite some time, he told me, Yuki Akasaka died in an accident. The world became a blur as I sat there dumbfounded. His death was unbelievably abrupt, unbelievably sudden. I could have understood if there was some kind of problem during the birth, but Yuki's death wasn't anything like that. On the stairs on the way up to the roof, she just happened to slip and fall. She just happened to fall in an unfortunate place at an unfortunate angle. That was it. Wanting to blame Yuki's death on somebody, I began to think that it was an act of revenge by the Guardians, that they killed my wife and made it look like an accident. What I learned when I flew back to Tokyo, however, was much more cruel than that. Yuki had a habit of going up to the roof to cool off in the evening. There was an elevator up to the 7th floor, but from there you had to take the stairs to get to the roof. Even late in her pregnancy, when the evening came, she would always head up there. Her father had always said for her not to push herself, but Yuki insisted that until the time she had no choice but to stay in bed, she'd be allowed to do as she wished. However, I had never once seen Yuki go up to the roof. I only heard that from her father and the nurses. That was because whenever I visited her, she would spend that time with me instead. I heard the reason why Yuki went up to the roof from a nurse she had become friendly with. She had said that her husband was away on a business a lot of the time, and that whenever he called, she was able to cheer him up and give him courage. But when he didn't call, she couldn't do that. Her husband might put on a show of bravado. In reality, he grew lonesome pathetically. He was probably just the same. Whenever he left for business, not clear when he'd be back, she felt very lonely. Whenever she cheered him up, she was actually cheering herself up as well. That's why, whenever he went far away for an important job, the evenings he didn't call, at the very least she felt that standing underneath the same sky, her feelings would reach. At that moment, I remember the words that girl had told me. That it was best that I go back to Tokyo right away. Otherwise, it would have been something I'd regret horribly. Yes, that's it. Because I was away on business that day, he had headed up to the roof. Had I known that this would have been the result, had I done as the girl had said and dropped everything to head back to Tokyo, I might have been with Yuki on the day she died. If I was with her, she wouldn't have gone up to the roof. That day my wife died was on the evening of the 3rd day of my trip. Yes, It was right before the time I had the sudden urge to hear Yuki's voice. I ran around the village trying to find a phone. The girl had gone around and cut all the phone cords. If she hadn't, and I had made that call, I would have undoubtedly learned of Yuki's death at the time and collapsed in tears. Of course, even though the phone's cords were cut, it had only put me off of learning Yuki's death by that one evening. In the end, I had learned of it the next morning. However, when I managed
Died on the night of the Watanagashi.
Died, huh? Because of that?
Wonder.
However, when I managed to put my emotions in order, I realized that it was that girl's small token of consideration. That's the first I've heard about that. Yeah. First time I've talked about it. Could it have been a coincidence? She doesn't have any special powers or anything. Aren't you the one who told me, Oishi-san? That she might be the reincarnation of the god called Oryoshido-sama? Well, yeah. Old folks in the village believe that Rika Furude had divine powers. Divine powers? Oishi had originally said it as kind of a joke, but realizing that I was serious, he slumped his shoulders. I don't know if it's the truth or not. They said she did things like prophesize the future, talk about things she should have no way of knowing. That she was clairvoyant, that it was divine revelation. Well, all sorts of things. Of course they couldn't give specific examples though. She prophesized Yuki's accident. But she tried to laugh it off, but out of respect to my deceased wife, he kept it restrained. Does that mean an active and capable investigator from the Metropolitan Police Department believes in divine powers and curses? Having him say that so bluntly, I couldn't respond. Of course, I had no intention of believing such odd things. But he could only say that because he didn't know what I did. Since I met that other girl, who both was and wasn't Rika Furude, I couldn't deny the existence of an otherworldly entity. Of course, I can't deny that it might not have been pre-science, but rather a warning. Not pre-science, but a warning. If what that girl had said was a warning about Yuki's accident, then things became much easier to understand. Basically, the line of thinking became that it was a threat, because I didn't go back to Tokyo. My wife was killed in a way that made it look like an accident. Not satisfied with the investigation into your wife's accident. Of course I suspected foul play. I pored over the results, and even carried out my own personal investigation. There weren't any witnesses to Yuki's fall. There was the possibility that someone had hidden, waiting to push Yuki down the stairs. However, the cleaning ladies frequented the roof to hang the laundry. Security cameras on each floor hadn't recorded anything out of the ordinary. There wasn't anything set up on the stairs, and I was unable to find anything suspicious. In the end, even after my personal investigation, I can't think of anything else happened other than Rika killed her? No. Always before. Prescience prescient means you know what's going on to happen. Oh. Well, of course. These were the guys that took the minister's grandson hostage. It wouldn't be impossible for them to push a lone pregnant woman down the stairs without leaving any evidence. Wishi's expression had completely sobered up. They murdered your wife? When Yuki died, I thought that as well. The fuck, his face looks so weird right now. The fuck? More precisely, I wanted to blame somebody, so I created the most viable scapegoat. Without any clear evidence, that violent notion faded along with the wounds in my heart. Did that girl know beforehand about my wife's death and was threatening me? Or did she prophesize the death and was offering me a road to salvation? If I had chose between the two, I would tend towards the latter. No. Oishi smiled slightly in disbelief as he poured more beer from the bottle. Then, if I may, what you say is true. Enrique Furude was a prophet who knew the future. If so, why didn't she predict that disaster? If she knew that the gas eruption was going to happen, why did she remain silent? Even a few hours beforehand would have been enough. Oh, so this takes place after chapter 3?
Would appear. It
What?
would appear so. Would
Yeah.
appear so.
Yeah, it seems like it. The
I want
village is
banana bread.
second one makes more sense than the speech about throwing a stone to prevent. If the village knew, then most of the people would have escaped without dying. It was near the end of June 1983. Volcanic gases from the Onigafuchi swamp erupted and hit the village in the middle of the night. It was an unprecedented disaster where the whole populace was wiped out. It caused a wave of panic about volcanic gas around the country, causing people to overreact over any reports of odd smell. I hadn't heard of the blockade on the Hinamizawa area being lifted, so it should still be cordoned off. That's... It was my turn to be lost for a response. Well, Rika Furude, the reincarnation of Orishiro-sama, was killed, and the village might have incurred the god's wrath, making him call forth the miasma from the swamp to kill everyone. That explanation is what the survivors are whispering about. Sorry, Oishi-san. Did you just say she was killed? Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think it would be a problem if I told you. When I saw the news about the gas disaster, I remembered that girl. I then found her name in the list of victims. That's why, at the time, I thought her own death she had predicted was due to the gas. It was after that I learned from the tabloids of the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa during the 5 years leading up to the disaster that became as the Curse of Orishiro-sama. And that string of mysterious deaths lined up exactly with what that girl had predicted, so I'd always thought to ask Oishi about it, as he had been involved in the investigation. So I guess he wasn't in town when that happened. Like, he was missing.
Nope.
He was missing the last chapter. We didn't know if he died or not. Huh, he must have been out of town or some shit, huh? That's right.
Narrowly avoided.
That was the reason for our reunion. But right now, Oishi had said, Rika Furude didn't die in the disaster, but was killed? Oh yeah, tummy was slit open. Can I ask you about the last year of the curse? I may be retired, but I still have to keep things confidential. No! Excuse me, madam? Do you have anything cold that's brewed locally? High grade, if there is. I'll leave the selection to you. No! Oh my, I didn't mean it that way. Oishi laughed loudly, not wholly unsatisfied, and stopped the hostess to tell her that the cheap booze was fine. I know as much as was written in those magazines, but I don't know anything about the curse that happened the year after this. Because the entire area around Hinamizawa was sealed off, you see. There wasn't much of an investigation that could be done in the last year of the curse. Even if after several years the quarantine is lifted, the villagers are mostly dead. What few survivors there were mostly went to stay with relatives, their whereabouts mostly unknown. It's a complete dead end. Which he seemed to postulate himself as he stared at the ceiling, as if trying to work out a memory from the rusty cogs in his head. And then he said in a completely sober voice, the magazines made it seem like the curse of the 5th year was the disaster. But the actual curse really happened on the day of the Watanagashi festival. A photographer by the name of Jiro Tomitake. He was the victim. Oishi gestured about how the victim tore out his own throat with his fingernails as he talked. Burnt corpse of the woman Tomitake was in a relationship with found in the mountains. Neighboring prefectural police weren't very cooperative, so I don't know much about it though. The 2 victims in one night? Actually, see, it wasn't just those 2. Next day, Umagi-kun, one of my subordinates, appeared along with this car in the middle of the investigation. Wait, Oishi disappeared.
Wait, no, they thought it was Oishi, but it may have been him. If
Huh.
Oishi was on the down low, you know.
Wait, I don't think they said Oishi's name.
They said his car was missing.
Huh. Magi
Oh.
this car in the middle. Umagi was a younger detective that was going to be partnered with Oishi after we first met. He was going around the village to question people about the incident with Tomikake. He might have gotten caught up in something. If he was with me, he might have been safe. Even now, it still stings. Who the fuck was... Oishi's a sussy baka. Oh my god.
Baka.
I cannot wait for chapter 5 when we finally start learning what the fuck happened. Oh, I'm so excited for that plum. Oof. That day, for some reason, I did a real number on my stomach. I had to pass on going around outside. He got too close to the truth and was made to disappear? That's what I think. Kuma-chan was young and had a promising future ahead of him. But he still didn't have enough experience on the scene.
Wait, it was Kuma-chan? I love Kuma-chan.
Kuma-chan?
He's a bear boy.
Oh, his name?
Kuma-chan, no!
He wasn't used to dealing with any complications. Oishi lamented the fact that he wasn't with the subordinate that day. And then, the next day, see... Ah, you know him as well, Akasaka-kun. You know, Dr. Ide. Remember him? Ah, that young doctor from the hospital? I vaguely remember. For whatever reason, he committed suicide with sleeping pills. No suicide note or anything. The autopsy confirmed that it was a sleeping pill. Nothing was in doubt except for the motive. But isn't that hard to make it look like somebody died from taking sleeping pills, is it? You have a question that's not really related to this chapter? Okay, at least. Any possibility it was a murder? He was single, no prior marriages. It didn't seem like he was going out with anybody in particular. He was the coach of the local junior baseball team and was on good terms with the villagers. He was liked by everybody. I couldn't find anybody who would want to do him harm. Well, any chances to investigate were ruined by the disaster, though. There's no way to find out anything about him now. Then, what about Rika Furude's death? It was that day. Around noon, some of the old folks who were visiting the shrine discovered the corpse of Rika Furude. Murder? Before he continued, he should probably stop eating that squid somen. Oh shit. That bad. Oishi nodded firmly. The corpse was found on the shrine grounds next to the donation box, although she was probably killed somewhere else. That's because while she was completely naked, there wasn't any dirt on the soles of her feet. Any sign it was some sort of sexual assault? According to the autopsy, there wasn't any indication of that. What we know is that she was rendered unconscious by some sort of drug, carried to that place, had her abdomen sliced wide open. Her organs were deliberately removed and scattered about. Conscious. She wasn't cut open after her death? That's... horrible. That girl's production, right on the mark. I'm pretty sure she was more detailed about the other deaths that led up to her own. For example, I think she said that the housewife was beaten to death. On the 4th year, had her head split open. And in that case, did she know about her own death would be so terrible? There must have been some moments where she wanted to doubt the validity of her own. But as the people died exactly as prophesized, as the years passed, that prophecy would only come closer to fruition. And then, facing the final year, unable to struggle against her own destiny, her all too young life is and in such a cruel way. Knowing that her days were numbered and unable to fight the tide of events heralding her end, my heart ached at her helplessness. About the way she died, it seemed like she wasn't just somebody's sick taste. What I'm saying is, I've told you before about how Hinamizawa used to be home to demons, didn't I? Yeah, I think I remember. The festival in Hinamizawa village, Tanagashi, the cotton drifting, seems to stem from drifting of
Entrails.
Bleh. It seems that it came from the man-eating demons ripping apart their victims and throwing their organs into the river. In other words, in Hinamizawa, pulling out entrails had some sort of religious meaning? Well, this is according to the old taste in Hinamizawa, you see. Old tales. To act as an arbitrator so that humans and the man-eating demons could live together peacefully. A god known as Oyashido-san is descended from the heavens. If I recall, Rika Furude was to be the living incarnation of Oyashido-sama, wasn't she? Yeah. So cutting open Rika Furude, who is a living god, would be to the village nothing less than absolute sacrilege. Absolute sacrilege. In other words, you mean sacrilege towards Oyashido-sama? The rest you should know, Akasaka-san. The wrath of Oyashido-sama would occur that same night. The Great Hinamizawa Disaster. The official explanation was that some swamp upstream erupted with toxic volcanic gas which enveloped the village. I missed the majority of one of the chapters. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. After this, can you go over them? I don't think you were present for chapter 1. I think you caught part of chapter 2? Or most of... I think you caught all of chapter 2, at least. I could kind of go over it, yeah. The swamp where it erupted was called Onigafuti Swamp. It was the origin of Hinamizawa's old name, Onigafuti Village. According to the village lore, the depths of the swamp apparently led to hell, where the man-eating demons came from. That almost seems too perfect. Oh, no, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There was another bit of folklore in the village. If Oyashido-sama became angry, the cauldron of hell would open up and miasma would flow out, so they say. To the villagers, hell was at the bottom of the swamp. So basically, the miasma pouring out, smothering the village? Yeah, basically. Due to the sacrilegious way that Rika Furude, the living incarnation of Oyashido-sama, was killed, the village incurred the wrath of Oyashido-sama in the form of that disaster. That seems to be their explanation. So what you're saying is that the disaster wasn't a natural one. The living thing does seem to fit together a little too well. If Oyashido-sama's curse doesn't really exist, everything really was just a matter of coincidence, I would doubt it. A wry smile formed on Oishi's face as he listened to my absurd take on things. He wore an expression as though even if it was absurd, there was a time he had thought the same thing as well. In regards to the religious beliefs of the villagers, suppose there was a more fanatical group among them, and that group created a situation that would incur Oyashido-sama's wrath, and enacted the disaster to make it seem like... Of course, I won't laugh. I've wandered down that line of reasoning more than once myself. However, even though Hinamizawa is a small village, it still has a population of over 1,000 people. To murder that many people in a single night doesn't seem realistic, no matter how you think about it. The gas eruption was believed to have happened around 2 a.m. Several hours before dawn. In that short amount of time, going around and killing all the villagers in a way that made it look like poison gas didn't seem feasible at all. The swamp the gas erupted from still had some religious significance, didn't it? If that's the case, then maybe there was something set up in the swamp, something that could have activated whenever a divine verdict was rendered. According to the JSDF press release, the swamp was declared the source of the eruption. This was after everything was thoroughly looked over by their investigative team. If anything like that was set up, I think they would have found it. It wouldn't necessarily have to be in the swamp itself. Come on, haven't you ever heard about it? The old story about how the faraway spring dried up, the village dried up, spring dried up as well. What do you mean by that? Many waterways are connected by underground aquifers. Swamps and springs are only the parts that manage to pop up above the surface. So what are you saying? What you're saying is that Onigafuchi Swamp is connected to another swamp or spring? And there's something the villagers rigged up there long ago, something that changes the pressure of Onigafuchi Swamp, causing it to erupt with poison gas? Is that what you're getting at? Oishi laughed heartily, mending the fact that youngins have a nice flexible way of thinking. That was the former detective in him. Even though it was a hypothesis that he didn't come up with, he still had the presence of mind not to dismiss it right away. That's an interesting theory. If that proves to be true, then it would be unprecedentedly the largest mass murder in the history of Japan. Once the quarantine on Hinamizawa village is lifted, I think it should definitely be investigated. Oishi-san, do you still have any connections with the redacted prefectural police? Somewhat. I'm an honorary advisor for the judo classes. Even now, I pop by during summer training camps and stuff. I don't know when the quarantine on Hinamizawa village will be lifted, but please let me help investigate. Got it. Oishi-san, how do you feel about the string of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa they call the Curse of Horiyashiro-sama? At the time, the villagers were putting a lot of pressure on the station. The official stance on things was that cases were unrelated. That each case was separate, each with its own resolution. That couldn't be. Even though it was blatantly obvious that the cases were connected based on the village's religious beliefs? Akasaka-san, we can only say that now because of the rather grandiose way things ended after 5 years. At that time, those coincidental incidents just happened to coincidentally occur on the day of Watanagashi. Just as it would be nice if nothing happened this year kind of feel to it. Incidents? The girl predicted everything from the beginning. Girl? Rika Furude. That child warned me about all the incidents that would happen afterwards. Akasaka-san. That true? Yes. The girl said as much. But the next year, the damn foreman would be killed and his corpse dismembered. Not only that, she warned me of all the events that would transpire in the following years. Akasaka-san.
And he didn't go to the police?
I thought he told... What if... He didn't bother to tell Uishi about it. Are you serious? Akasaka-san, when she told you all of that, what year was it? When I met the girl, I was investigating the kidnapping incident, so June of 1978. The year before the dismemberment murder. Wrinkles formed between Oishi's eyebrows as he closed his eyes and began to digest what I told him. Akasaka-san, if you're wrong about Rika Furude knowing the future through some divine medium, this is getting ridiculous. Yep. If you're just trying to shock me, I'm going to be really angry, you know? I'm speaking the truth. Then the script behind the chain of mysterious deaths was written a year before it even started. And just as predicted, Rika Furude was killed. At first, I thought she meant that she would be killed in the disaster. However, now I know that her death wasn't due to that, but rather an atrocious one at the hands of a murderer. She said she would be killed. At that point in time, she knew more or less how her own death would occur. Then, why didn't Rika Furude try and run away? Even if her death was already spelled out for her, knowing that, she still had a grace period of several years, didn't she? She had plenty of time to try and run away and consult the police. Why did she just accept her death with no resistance? I don't know. Even though Rika Furude was doted upon by the older folks in the village, after she lost her parents, she had no living relatives, lived a fairly solitary life, other than hanging around with some close friends.
Would I've actually beaten half to death.
You should have told Uishi, he wouldn't have dismissed it. Uishi would have kept it in mind when the damn foreman was killed. Yeah. Like, that was a dude they know personally. The fuck? Why didn't he tell him?
He just forgot about it, like his wife just died.
I guess. It might have been she didn't have any power to fight or anybody to rely on. She must have tried signaling somebody for help in regards to her own death, though. You know very well that the village and the police weren't very amicable with one another. Akasaka-san. At the very least, I never heard anything about Rika Furude seeking protection from anybody. Or it could be that she simply resigned herself to being a religious sacrifice. It could have been something like that. There's no way that was the case. I spoke decisively. At that time, she said it. She definitely said that she wanted to live happily. She wanted to spend her time surrounded by her dear friends. She hadn't given up on life. She had hoped to keep on living. At that moment, I became dumbstruck. What's the matter? Akasaka-san. No, it's nothing. I fell into silence. Oishi folded his arms and began murmuring in contempt again. Eventually, he stood up and headed towards the hallway to find the hostess, yelling that he wanted a pen and paper. Oishi, noisy even though he was just thinking, left. The room immediately fell into a chilled silence. I stood up, but then I realized I was drunk enough to be unsteady on my feet. When I stood open the window, a beautiful yet somehow ephemeral moon drifted across the night sky. It was just now that I realized. She hadn't accepted her own death. She wanted to keep living, happily and joyously. She had said that quite clearly to me. I was a fool. Hadn't been asked explicitly, so I hadn't realized it. She had made it clear as day that she didn't want to die. Wasn't that her cry for help? She didn't say as much that she wanted help, but even given that, it wasn't as though she wasn't looking for salvation. Without any family and unable to trust the police, she instead told somebody without any relation to the village, somebody from a faraway place, hey, help me. She had gone around and cut the phone cords. If I had made that phone call and learned of Yuki's death, I probably would have fallen into despair. If I was in that state, even if she was looking for help, her cries would have fallen on deaf ears. That's why. Knowing everything, she had cut the phone cords. She wanted even a little time to seek help from me. Oishi, just before now, had lamented that one of the younger officers got mixed up in a case, having been erased because he wasn't there. I was feeling the same way. If only I was there in June of 1983, I could have protected her. In 1983, it would have been 5 years since the kidnapping took place. While raising the only daughter Yuki had left me, putting all my youth and passion into my work, honing my wits and courage wrestling with difficult cases. Nothing like my failings during the kidnapping incident would have occurred. I wouldn't have been slow to react in a one-on-one fight. By that point, I jumped into foreign mafia-run gambling parlors where I'd learned to deal with automatic weapons, let alone handguns. I had grown so much that in 1983 I couldn't have been even compared to how I was in 1987. That's why, if I was by her side, I should have been able to save her life. No matter what conspiracy or foul plots drew near, I definitely would have protected her. She, even though sounding resigned, should have still been able to ask me for help. I just didn't realize it. I couldn't realize it. Guess I would have realized it if I was told of Yuki's accident. I wasn't able to realize it. I wanted to cry. If I'd taken her words to heart, I would have prevented Yuki's accident. I would have been able to protect the girl to whom I owned a debt from even a predetermined death. She must have been expecting that from me. I learned about the disaster while watching television in my house. Until I learned about that, I had forgotten about Hinamizawa. In order to recover from the shock of Yuki's death, I tried to remove everything about the place from my memory.
Told ya.
What an ungrateful fool I was. Even though in exchange for saving her, the girl had told me of a way to save Yuki, I was unable to accept her gratitude, and now here we were. She had died in her sleep due to a natural disaster. Hadn't died. She was split open while still alive, killed while suffering the disgrace of having her organs torn out. She must have known beforehand that on the day of that year, she'd be killed in such a terrifying way. But even knowing what end awaited her, she was all too weak. A lone girl without anybody to rely upon, unable to seek help, had to swallow her own predetermined death, and left this mortal coil. She said she wanted to live. She said she just wanted to live happily. That's all she wanted. She didn't ask for anything extravagant. For any person that was ever born, it was the very basest of desires. She never said a peep about wanting money, or that she wished she was in somebody else's situation. She had said it. That if all deaths were preordained, then hers was probably also all according to plan. She might have been a lone, frail girl, but I don't think she would have accepted it all, without at least putting up a fight. There must have been, in some small way, some form of resistance that she mustered. And with what she could muster, seeking any help was part of that. God damn it. I howled. I stomped the floor. Why did I become a police officer in the first place? How could I call myself an officer if I couldn't save a single girl from the misfortune that was waiting her? Was it because there was so much going on at the time I couldn't process the fact that she was asking for help? Yeah, that's right. I was still green. If I was in that situation now, I would have definitely been able to help her. But it was already over. Even if I wanted to settle the regrets she left behind, Hinamizawa, dangerous area. 7 years? For 7 fucking years they had to quarantine for gases? The fuck? Most of the people involved were already dead, but the few that did remain spread across the country, unable to be traced. The stage of the tragedy was still off limits as well. The police investigation was put on hold, the case slowly being buried in the sands of time. Just like how I wouldn't have known unless Oishi had asked me about it. Akasaka-san, are you okay? At some point, Oishi had returned with a notebook in hand. Until I saw the expression on Oishi's face, I didn't realize that I was in tears. I never realized she wanted help. Akasaka-san, calm down. But it's all too late now. She was killed in such an atrocious manner. She was counting on me, but I couldn't save her. I might also be at fault for not building up an amicable relationship with the village. If Rika Furude had told me about it, I might have been able to extend a helping hand. I wasn't able to build up enough trust for that. That's something I regret. When Oishi said the word trust, it weighed on me even more. Yes, she had given me her trust. She trusted me. Meaning that she thought of that I would have been able to ward off the fate of her foreseen death. She believed in that. I cried. I fell to my hands and knees as I began to bawl. Eventually, Oishi spoke quietly. Akasaka-san, does it upset you? It does. Then, there's only one way worth mentioning for Rika Furude to have revenge. Is there really? Is there a way to do that? Oishi showed me the pen and the notebook. In order to properly mourn the death of Rika Furude, we have to at least find out the truth. The truth. Yes, and not just Rika Furude. Lots of people died. The lament must be immeasurable. But their deaths were left unsettled because of disaster, and now we can't even investigate them, as their memory fades into oblivion. Many people died. The old man was killed, Kuma-chan was erased, everybody was a victim. But the police can't even investigate it. Who's going to take care of their parting regrets? Only we can. Akasaka-san. We find the truth. Yeah, we'll find it. I've been around every one of the string of mysterious deaths and know all the inner workings of the village. We were told an important truth the year before they happened by Rika Furude. We can do it. But they're already dead. Ugh. That's right. Rika Furude died. You were too inexperienced, so you couldn't save her. Wah! She grabbed me, who was erect, and lifted me firmly by the lapels. That's why.
Lapels.
What?
They're called lapels.
I thought you liked Pudgy.
They're called lapels.
I thought you liked Pudgy, and
I do like Pudgy. Damn it! Don't make. Nah!
That's why, to atone for that, we reveal the truth. If what you say is true, then all the incidents were part of some greater design. If that's the case, then how we investigate needs to change completely. I intend to spend tonight summarizing all the information you and I have. Then get in contact with any of the former subordinates first thing in the morning. We're not going to let this case go cold. We're definitely going to crack it wide open. Crack it open. Crack it open! We will. Several years have passed, but it's not beyond the statute of limitations. Even if the case has been postponed, it's not closed. It's still going. We're going to keep it going. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it, Oishi-san. I won't let it end like this. I'm certain we'll uncover the truth. We absolutely will. I demonstrated my resolve to Oishi by crying out those words. And just then... Ah, oh shit.
Papa.
The sliding door behind me opened, and Yuki revealed herself while sleepily rubbing her eyes. My shouting must have awoken her, and she rushed over to me.
What's wrong, Papa? Papa, why are you crying?
Oh. It's nothing, Miyuki. It's nothing. I tried hard to smile, wiping away my tears. Now Miyuki looked like she was about to cry herself. She extended her little hand to me.
Are you alright?
Oh, that's too fucking cute!
You okay, Dad? Did you have another scary dream? Don't cry, Papa. Index will eventually read things correctly.
And when she makes that gesture towards me, I saw the figure of another girl overlapping with her.
Huh?
And her innocent gaze and innocent expression felt frustratingly nostalgic, filling me with painful torment. A girl that couldn't be here because I didn't reach out to her. She borrowed my daughter's body to offer me words of comfort.
It's our child!
Oh god.
Lucky-san! Please don't cry.
It might be a hallucination. Maybe a convenient illusion formed from my selfish dreams. However, that was her voice. I'm certain I heard it. Rather than blaming me for my mistake, she was compassionate. Why am I crying? After all, I have something more important to do than crying. Miyuki, before you were born...
Dragon fruit and blueberry?
What? Papa met a girl in Hinamizawa who was like an angel.
I can't read it. It's blurry. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. An angel? Really?
Yeah, she was cute and kind. I wanted her to meet you, Miyuki. Right,
Huh?
that's already an impossible wish. The future's already gone.
Then I want to be friends with that girl.
Huh?
I'm looking forward to it. Next time you go, take me with you. To Hinamizawa.
Even so, there's still something I can do. Ah, of course. We'll meet her together someday. I'm sure of it.
Yep.
Someday, I'm sure, we will see her again. That summer, Higurashi cried in Mizawa. Oishi and I vowed to bring the truth of the case to light and stood up. Everything ended in 1985. I, at least, wanted to apologize and search for her grave. After the state autopsy, her remains were entrusted to one of the shrine's followers. In the future, when the quarantine on the Hinamizawa area was lifted, they would be returned to her family grave. However, unsure who exactly took the remains of Rika Furude, until today, I couldn't even apologize to her. In the future, when the quarantine on Hinamizawa is lifted, all I could do then was wait until whoever that person is returned to the grave. What I could do right now was not apologize to her. Instead, until I was able to meet her again, I would reveal the truth and dispel her regrets. Even now, sporadic eruptions of gas in Hinamizawa area meant the prospect of the quarantine being lifted wasn't happening anytime soon. Oh, the gas kept coming out. Fuck. Most likely, it seemed that she had no intention of meeting me again until I found the truth. That's why the quarantine wouldn't be lifted, or so I thought. Until the day I grasped the truth. It was the following year. Oishi and I co-authored a book on the string of mysterious deaths leading up to the Great Hinamizawa disaster. I decided on the title, Higurashi, When They Cry. That was because, for those few days I was in Hinamizawa, the sound that I remembered the most was the cry of the Higurashi. I can only wish that based on this book, those people involved with that incident refresh their memories, bring up to light a new title drop, yeah. And more importantly, that nothing like this ever happens again. I wrote this in the afterword. Why did this tragedy happen? Can't reach the truth by ourselves. If you're reading this, please discover the truth. That is our only wish. Ishiini.
Mamoru Akasaka.
This year, the quarantine in Hinamizawa still hasn't been lifted. Fuck. New scenario has been unlocked. Okay. Oof.
That was good.
That's a good way to start the fucking answer arc. Now we
Yeah.
can finally fucking figure out what's going on.
Maybe we can save Rika.
Maybe. It'd be nice if we could. But yeah,
Almost like this is all just predetermined.
seems like it.
Mm.
What'd you think of that episode ending, everybody? Pretty cool shit, huh?
It would be nice if you could. Shut up, Plum.
What? It was nice. I don't know if we can. Hopefully. So that the answer arcs are all taking place in this book or something.
I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. Ugh.
That's quite an episode, everybody.
It was very good.
Thank y'all for joining us today.
Meeting you.
Tune in on Wednesday. Me and Plum and Ren They Cry. We're gonna do a three-way read along.
Oh, you're gonna have a three-way now,
no,
are you?
No, I fucked that up. Three-way read along.
Okay. Okay. Plum Penguin. Three-way.
Shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
At least can you clip him saying that he's gonna have a three-way on Wednesday?
Oh, Pengu, all you had to do was ask.
Hail. Hello, Fudgy.
Oh
How
my
was
God.
your stream?
Okay, I must hydrate. And I must stretch. Ooh.
I don't want to stretch. I will leave you to stretch for the both of us.
Hey, guess what you walked in on? Was good how Ghost thinks. We just finished the chapter. It was quite an ending.
Yeah, nothing else happened. Penguin definitely wasn't talking about him having a three-way.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Oh, Penguin, all you had to do was ask. All right, I'll ask. You want to do a three-way model plot? I'm just fucking.
No!
Oh my god. So that was So what was chapter 1? Okay. Chapter 1 focused mostly on Rena and the fact that she's a crazy bitch. That it introduced the Watanagashi festival, it introduced Tomitake and Kano. In that episode, we didn't see Rika die on screen. So I think she died off screen after. What happened in it? Shit, I have a hard time remembering. They went to the festival. Keiichi. Okay, Rena and Mion started fucking with Keiichi. They started getting all psycho on him. So he got super paranoid, and then he started keeping Satoshi's bat with him all the time.
I
And
see Latte Bell's name in the users who are watching right now.
is that your friend stalking us again?
Yes, and I'm angry that he hasn't said hi.
Hadn't said anything, huh?
I'm so mad.
I see. Did she dig up Colonel Sanders? Yes, she did. She got a little statue of him, I guess. And then Keiichi started keeping Satoshi's bat around and practiced with it a lot, swinging it to tell people to fuck off. And then Reina tried to kill him, and then the village people tried to kill him. Happened. Rena and Mion, I think they kidnapped him and attempted to inject him with shit, some drugs, something.
Oh, that would suck to be injected with shit.
Yeah, and then he went psycho and killed them both. And then the village people came after him. He made a run for it, and then we don't know what happened after that. We don't know exactly what happened when he was running from them, but it cut to Oishi's, the police station with Oishi. Keiichi found a payphone, which I think is supposed to be the one that was in this chapter, actually. The faraway payphone that Akasaka went to. Keiichi went to a payphone, called Oishi's station. Like, help, help. Oh god. And then he clawed his throat out like the Tomitake did. On the phone with Oishi. Pretty much where it ended. I'm at a payphone trying to call home all of my change I spent on you.
I'm at a payphone trying to call home. I was Maroon 5, but I won't tell you any more of that music because we don't want to get taken down.
Even fucking singing it, we get DMCA. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh god, Pengu's 3-way.
It's in the clips already.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Yeah, so there's a lot of questions left unanswered. It's funny how it seems 3 and 4 connect to each other, timeline wise. They're the ones who ruined SpongeBob song.
What? I have no idea.
So finally we're gonna get some answers next chapter, right, Plum? Finally. Finally something's gonna, instead of getting more questions, we're gonna get some answers. That's good. That's good. Three and 4 are pretty funky numbers, huh? Also, yes, answer arc, let's go. Yes, finally, I want to figure out what the fuck happened. God. Damn it, I can't. It's gonna be so refreshing getting answers instead of more questions.
We need all the answers.
Uh-oh, Index.
What? I didn't do it.
We get an F in chat for the bot.
Did the oh, let me murder him. I get to kill him. Let me kill him.
There's no
Damn
link.
it! Elise!
Ah! Remove the ban to ban. Oh my god! Index, you cheated. That's funny. That's fucking.
I did cheat. I did cheat.
Oh my god, Index! When your mods fight over who gets to ban the bot. Oh no!
What did you do?
Oh my god, are you guys just gonna keep unbanning and banning him? Oh my god, you're gonna do that, aren't you?
Bam. Next.
Just gonna,
This is bot account next.
you're just gonna ban Elise next?
No, I'm not gonna ban Elise. I'm not quite that malicious. Close. Ban.
Like this whole chat is gonna be unbanned and banned. I'm gonna fucking come here in the middle of the goddamn night and do it. Then taunt you with the screenshot. The guy operating that bot's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on with this?
Ban you?
No.
Okay, kitten. I'll
No,
ban you.
Don't ban Kitten. I can't do
I'm
that.
kitten out for 10 seconds.
You timed him. Oh my god, poor Kitten.
Kitten, how does that feel?
I need to screenshot this shit and put it on Twitter. When your bots go ape shit, banning bots. Bans you cutely.
You want me to ban you again?
You do a good baby voice, Index.
Oh, do I?
I think your baby voice is the most bestest.
Thank you.
You should
I don't
check
know
out
if it
Plum's
is.
voice acting. She's really good too.
Oh, I'll have to. I've never been good at this type of stuff, so
Plum is incredibly good at like shifting the tone of her voice, raising it up and down. Crazy, crazy good.
I'm not good at it. I blush you.
I bless you. Index the 5-year-old Yandere.
Dude, one of the best roleplay characters I had was roleplaying one of my characters as like a 6-year-old.
Really?
Yeah, something happened and we ended up in a different timeline. And my character's about 6 during this time, and they're like, "I guess you just have to play a child." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh no, Index.
I could be a baby.
That's where you got good at baby voice, huh?
I didn't have to do voice or anything like that. I used to do text RP, and
Oh wow.
shit, I used to do Gaia all the time. Gaia Online.
Nerd.
Oh my gosh.
Nerd.
I was like big into Gaia.
Nerd.
Let me see. Do I remember my username?
Text RP, you can do RP sex scenes.
Hope no one stole my stuff.
No, don't turn me into baby spin-off, says Index.
Log in. Don't do it! Don't do it! No. Yeah, bad.
So
My
you're-
posts.
You're good at baby voice and also his crazy laugh, psycho laugh.
Oh, I guess so.
That was pretty insane, that laugh. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad.
I loved it so much.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. My topics. I think it's my topics.
I thought you liked pudgy guys, though.
I like Pudgy.
That was gold. Alright. Why don't we raid the person that I'm going to be having the three-way with? I mean,
Ugh.
read along with.
What's Candyman?
A 3-way, yes.
If you dare.
Me.
Okay, so let me
Let's
check
go.
to make sure that they're still going.
What do you want the raid to say?
You're gonna make the raid message?
Yeah, I'll make raid message while you find the person.
Tango Dex Stabby Raid.
And go to Stabby Raid.
And then put all our stabby emotes together. Three-way raid. Oh goodness. That way Plum can meet the person that we're gonna be voicing with. All I have is a gun emote. Uh-oh. Yeah.
If you don't have a stab, you can do that one if you have both of ours.
Oh dang. Plum needs a freaking subscription gifted. Oh dang.
If you just have penguinados, I'll make one for just penguin.
Dang it, I didn't need another stabby emote then.
And
Control C.
and if you don't have any of our emotes, let me go get a free one.
If we don't have any of our emotes, shame on you. I'm just kidding.
Shame on you! How dare
Yay.
you not? How dare you not subscribbles? Subscribble to me. There's a sword.
There we go. That's great.
Now you can use any of them.
They don't have a knife emote? What the heck, Twitch?
They don't have a knife emote. They just have a sword.
I guess
I
that works.
see your sword is as big as mine.
Okay, we're gonna raid Jade Ren? Jade ID. I don't know. I just call her Ren. They're playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Bum, bum, dun, 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 I like that one.
There we go.
You did it.
Go say hi to Ren. Going to indie stream, then dropping another 10
Why the fuck would you do that? Don't do that to me. You break me down. I mean, thank you so much. It's very kind of you, but you just don't.
Alright,
I'm not
Index,
worth it.
Alright, Elise and Kitten, don't forget to send me what fucking game you want. I swear to God, if you guys forget again, I'm gonna be really upset. I keep giving people codes and then they don't ask for what they want, and then I forget. I hate it.
I want the Lord of the Rings game.
Wait. Oh my God, am I still missing that? Not giving you that game yet?
Yes, I've said it every time too. It's you that forgets.
I did already. Okay, that's good. Alright, everybody, we're gonna raid Ren They Cry. Stick around for the raid if you want some extra points. Copy down that raid message, and I'll see y'all. Actually, I need to do my fucking schedule. Probably tomorrow night. I think I'm gonna finish Bendy, hopefully. But yeah, everybody have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Night night.
Index Chan. If you ain't followed Index, do that too. Here you go.
No,
Good night,
don't do
everybody.
it.
Good
Don't
night,
follow
everybody.
me.
Good night.